boys in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers! Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers! Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hey, it's the Pizza Party Christmas podcast. I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you people?
Where's Jim?
Oh
no.
we didn't tell you.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Fucking Hayden killed him!
Whoops.
Yeah!
Oh, well, who do we have as his replacement for Jim's demise?
You.
Stev?
Yeah,
No,
Stev.
I want Stev to take this responsibility. I can't.
You
Yeah.
talk in a monotone voice now.
Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to review Ben 10, Race Against Time.
Hey, what's up? It's Jim. Today I'm going to be reviewing my toenails. Let's take a look at this. That sounded more like critical,
Yeah,
actually.
Say.
What do you
Hey, what's up? Critical.
Today I'm going to be watching some Jim reviews. Let's do this shit.
But yeah, we have Stev and JRadGex back.
JRadGex, you fucking pleb.
I keep wanting to read it as JRadGex.
It all fucking started with, first, my sister made fun of my name because that was originally just my name on mp3.com, if anyone at all remembers that website.
Oh, wow.
And then I just brought it up randomly with a friend, and now all my friends just call me JRadGex.
Doesn't really flow at all.
No, it just sounds like a fucking mess. Just JRadGex.
And also, you're referencing the video game Gex, as if anyone cares about Gex anymore.
Hey,
I mean,
hey.
His last major appearance was in some Xbox racing game, Mad Dash, which is actually a clusterfuck of a game, but I kind of like it.
Apparently he has a completely different voice in, Britain or something. He has, a soothing voice.
yeah. Oh, no, yeah. It's like the American one is super man, I'm cool, I'm Gex. And then you go over to, the UK and he still says dumb catchphrases, but it's a little more tolerable with a British accent.
It's so much more tolerable. Like I said, it's smooth. It's fun to listen to. Instead of whoa, it's like, hello.
I can't wait for him to be in the next PlayStation All-Stars.
Oh, ouch.
Listen,
Ow.
that game, 10 out of 10.
The best thing about PlayStation All-Stars is the fact that Smash Brothers now has more PlayStation All-Stars than the actual PlayStation All-Stars game. With the inclusion of Cloud.
Savage.
If we got Snake, we would just, over. Sorry, PlayStation.
Well, they have Raiden.
You mean Raiden?
Oh,
Everybody.
close enough.
That shows how much people care about Raiden. Nobody even knows how to say stupid name.
Oh.
Listen, Jack the Ripper was the fucking coolest thing ever. So edgy, the best fighter ever. He got a sword. He crushed people's spines. Sick.
If you play Gex, you notice that he just keeps quoting Austin Power quotes, and I'm thinking if Gex was made today, he'd be quoting internet memes, and he'd just saying, "You got trolled" or "Gangnam Style."
Oh, you're right.
Oh, you mad, bro?
Oh, yeah.
He beats an enemy.
They would totally drop the TV motif completely, and it would have been him trapped in the web.
Oh no.
Oh God. I can see it. I don't want it.
You'd have a cameo by some Let's Player commenting, and that's the whole thing about the game. He's stuck in the internet, and the evil narrator is just a Let's Player.
And then it just becomes SMOSH the Movie.
Oh.
I love that movie.
I
Still haven't watched it.
Ironically or legitly?
Yeah, ironically, it's such a god awful movie. It's
making sure.
I was stopping by Walmart after work, and I always make it a point to look through the DVD section to see what they have. And I looked, and SMOSH the Movie was there for $10, and I was like, oh my God. And I texted my friends, and I was like, should I get this? And then nobody responded, probably because they were so fucking horrified that this existed. And I was like, I'm getting it. So I bought it. I streamed it. Everybody hated it, and it's by far one of my most favorite awful movies.
Even I was watching the I Hate Everything review of it, and even he was like, yeah, these people, the bloopers are more funnier than the actual movie itself.
Oh.
Because it feels like they were so restrained in the movie, that's what he says.
Well, yeah, because the movie, they were written by, two different Hollywood hacks, so...
They didn't write it themselves?
They didn't.
What? Oh man.
What was the fucking point then of them being Smosh? If it's not the original comedians writing their own story, then it's just two jackasses in some terribly written movie that is just inherently going to be bad.
And one thing I always love mentioning is that it was directed by the Ben 10 live action movie director. That's just one of my favorite fun facts.
Wait, there was a Ben 10 live action movie?
Yeah, there was Race Against
There's like
Time
4 of them.
Yeah.
No, there were 2.
On TV.
There's 2. Okay.
I own both of them, and I should, if Jim wants to, I should make him review one of them. Since Jim isn't here and he won't listen to this on time, everybody send Jim, please review Ben 10 Race Against Time. He'll be so confused.
No, don't. Then he'll be spammed with a bunch of crap that he doesn't want.
Exactly, that's the whole point.
But yeah, Jim will be back, everyone.
Yeah, don't worry, we're already working on some black magic to resurrect him, so
Yeah.
no.
Oh.
I'm sure he'll have some fun stories from the afterlife to tell.
Yeah. Oh, and the next video for next week is gonna be top 5 Christmas specials. Just whatever. Just talk about them.
Who cares?
Look, I'm busy with school, so this is all I can do for now. You know.
Top 10, who gives a shit?
Yeah, fucking Christmas specials.
You should have ran with that theme. Top 5 Christmas specials that didn't give a fuck.
Well, there are some that I feel did do that.
Is the before Christmas?
The night before Christmas, yeah.
That's got to be on the list, right?
Oh, well, I already talked about that, so what's the point?
I don't know. You already have the footage.
That was so disappointing. That looked so bland. I was expecting some really, really funny racist caricatures, but all I got was just like some dumb rapping, and that's it. I was so disappointed.
So, you want to get into the news?
Oh, yes.
All right.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Whoa.
Okay, so there's not much news, but hey, did anyone see the new Ninja Turtles trailer for Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows? No relation to the video game Out of the Shadows, which came out 2 years ago and was fucking shit.
That would be the live action one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bay Turtles.
Actually, I kind of am holding out hope that it's going to be really good.
It actually looks good.
Yeah, in a dumb kind of way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting it to be amazing or anything, but it looks like funnier than the last one, I guess.
Fun, stupid, because, I mean, Bebop and Rocksteady look like their cartoon counterparts.
Yeah, the
Oh,
80s
yeah.
version, not
Yeah.
the new one.
Oh yeah, if you saw the 2012 version of Bebop and Rocksteady, they slimmed down, I think, either Bebop or Rocksteady. I don't know which one.
No, Bebop.
Okay, Bebop.
Bebop is like... Go ahead.
He looks like that guy from what was that show? Busy Town?
Oh, that's Lazy Town?
Lazy Town, yeah. He looks like one of the characters from Lazy Town.
That fucking show scared the shit out of me as a kid.
That show was I don't know what that was, but it was like a surreal nightmare. Like that and Yo Gabba Gabba.
I don't actually remember that one. Was that also a puppet show, or
It was a bunch of guys in costumes, and it was made by, I think, the head guy for Aquabats.
oh,
That guy makes some weird TV.
Which explains everything. Yeah, so, I mean, Ninja Turtles 2, I mean, it actually looks fun stupid, because if you see the trailer to the first, the 2012, or whatever year that movie came out in.
It looked too serious.
Yeah, it looked too serious, and also you barely saw the turtles. You saw more Megan Fox, but here you see, like, maybe 2 clips of Megan Fox, and that's all.
one of the biggest letdowns with these Michael Bay films is that they never like to manipulate the actual characters in questions. Like Transformers movies barely had the Transformers, and then the Ninja Turtles just felt very absent in the first live action movie as well. So if they tried to just focus on the goddamn fucking turtles for once, I feel like it would at least, if it's not great, it'd be better, you know? To not
Well, the
have
reason why
villain be a
they
human,
focus-
have it be
They focus on the human mostly because it's cheaper. Like,
Yeah.
when 1 second of Optimus Prime being on screen costs like a couple of $100,000, it totally makes sense why the scripts are written around the humans. But from a fan or from a story perspective, if the movie's called Transformers or Turtles, I want to see the main characters be those and not Megan Fox and Shia LaBeouf.
That raises a question for me though. If it starts becoming too expensive where you have to rely on CGI and like, wouldn't it be cheaper to just make the puppet costumes and then like use CGI for the action scenes or something?
I don't know. That could be jarring.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
I think he already has like an art style set in stone of, CGI the CGI monster guys and turtles and stuff, and then every human will just be a human,
Yeah.
Like anything too complicated will just have to be CGI. The George Lucas route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the original 90s Turtles looked great, and they were, basically Muppets.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Jim Henson Company, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Do they still do things?
They're working on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Freddy Fazbear is a Muppet now, I guess.
Well, I mean, animatron. Like, I think Five Nights at Freddy's could translate really well into live action since they're crappy animatronics. So I think that would look really good as a conventional effects, like that movie that came out, Krampus.
I haven't seen that yet.
The creature effects were probably the best part of the movie, and that's it.
So you didn't like it?
It just kind of bummed me out, honestly, because it was like the not spoilers, but basically the whole thing with the Krampus is if you have given up on the spirit of Christmas or whatever, or if you just like kind of like lose the holiday spirit or whatever, the Krampus comes and kills everyone you love. And I'm just like, wow. Sorry if I have seasonal depression, you fucking asshole.
Ouch.
Did it like hit close to home, and that's why it's...
It did hit close to home, and I was like, wow, this kind of bummed me. Except I was with my friend Super Spo, and we were in the theater at like in the middle of the afternoon on a weekday. So nobody was in there. Mm-hmm. And we just riffed tracks to the whole thing, so that made it a little bit better.
Nice.
And I was just... we were just screaming and just saying how stupid some of the stuff was and like how some of the kills were really disappointing. So...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like gory at all, or not even that creative.
Well, it's PG-13.
Well, I know, but
I mean,
creative at least.
I mean, you should see the director's other movie, Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
So is this guy like building an entire career out of horror movies based off like niche little holiday themes?
Pretty much, yeah.
I want the Easter Bunny movie. I can't wait.
I feel like there's like 20 straight-to-video movies probably about that already of a horror film.
I just want like a remake of Thanksgiving. That's just all I want, because it was a great movie when it came out, and I want another fucking puppet turkey man to just complete my life.
Oh, but going back to Ninja Turtles, like anything else to say about the trailer?
Yeah, I think it's unfair like to use It's Tricky, because that automatically makes me like the trailer, because you can't make a bad trailer without that song, It's too good.
Well, it's the dubstep remix as featured in SSX by EA, the new one. But one thing that I noticed, like near the end when the Rhino, I think Rocksteady, was charging, he looks very choppy, like he's made of stop motion. Like I'm wondering if the CGI is not finished or that's intentional, because I hope that's intentional.
No, basically, like 9 times out of 10, most of these trailers, especially released this early out, it's usually made with, okay, we have all these shots done for the most part. Make what you can out of it.
Because, I don't know, I think that'd be cool if he's animated like a stop-motion creature.
Oh, I was going to say was, basically, a lot of the times these CG movies, no matter what, they're filmed at, like, CG's usually 60 or 30 frames per second, and then film is done a lot on 24 frames. And I don't understand why a lot of films don't just cut out the unnecessary frames to help it, like, blend better, because a lot of times CG just looks too perfect, or it's two things that always give it away. It's lighting, where they don't match the lighting enough, or it moves around too fluidly.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because I don't know, lighting always just ruins like a lot of effects for me. But also one other thing in the end of the trailer is when they're in a river, and you just see Bebop on a tank and shooting at the turtles on the tank. I mean, that just looks like something that would be a toy. Just the villain sticking out of a giant tank.
Like something straight out of just Nintendo Power, like, buy this today. It's got Rocksteady and Raphael in it.
Yeah.
But on the subject of weird toys like that, me and Super Spo, the friend I was talking about earlier, were in a Target or a Walmart, and there was this Avengers toy where was the Hulk? He's sitting on a car, and his fucking arms.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, and it's an RC car, and like it doesn't drive, but he uses his fucking arms to go forward. So his arms are like fucking like super long, and they like spin around, and it's just like, why did you do this? What is this for?
It's the Hulk, right?
Yeah, it's the Hulk.
Yeah, it's so fucking.
I mean, all these toys always give like superheroes, like Superman, like here, Superman's epic motorcycle, remote controlled and stuff. Like, why would they need this?
I think my favorite one though was it's just a Star Wars car, but it like a remote control car. But all it is it's just Darth Vader's face as a car.
What a narcissist!
Why?
Well, that's the one thing I never understood about toys is like that, and then on top of it, like I always just want the action figure to be like as close to the show as possible, but they always have like these weird gimmicks where like let's put a button on him so he can move his arm because that's a gimmick, and gimmicks sell to kids. But I always wanted to show accurate stuff. Like Toy Story pissed me off because I could never get show accurate Toy Stories until recently.
We couldn't.
But like a lot of times it would be like Action Spring Slinky or things like that. Instead, now they have like the actual, you can buy Woody and it's just Woody, you know, like from the movie, even the same like casing that Andy had when he opened them.
Oh, you mean like when they say like, you know, oh, Buzz Lightyear, and then you get him and he has like Buzz Lightyear that can make a big long arm stretch, or like tiny Buzz Lightyear. Yeah.
It always bugged me when you see like a Batman toy having like all these attached missiles. Like Batman never uses these things, except for Brave and the Bold. If you saw like the final episode of Brave and the Bold, Batmite comes in and he edits the entire world so that's more closely resembling like a shitty 90s toy where Batman has these stupid plastic missiles attached to his shoulders. Oh,
So awesome.
I need to watch that show, I guess, because that's awesome.
Also, the what was it? Oswald from Drew Carey show is the voice of Batman in that, and it's awesome.
Well, he's also I think of him more as Rex Kwando from Napoleon Dynamite.
You think anybody wants a roundhouse kick to the face while I'm wearing these bad boys? Forget about it.
Oh yeah.
At that point, you might as well get like Critical to voice Batman.
Well, for me,
pretty well.
Kevin, obviously from the animated series, is like the Batman voice I always want. But like between Oswald and then Will Arnett is like the quintessential parody Batman. Like he's so good.
I don't know. Like I remember I was watching Arrested Development like years ago, and I was thinking I think Will Arnett could voice like Batman or something, and it finally somewhat sort of happened.
I mean, if they dropped the Lego thing and decided, you know, okay, we're gonna make like a semi like humorous Batman show, or even a serious, I wouldn't even mind him being serious. But Will Arnett just is like, I'm Batman, like the but Michael, you know, that voice is so good.
Yeah, I mean, he does have that sinister sounding voice to him.
It's an illusion, Michael.
Okay. And I guess that's all a bit of news, but let me just remind everyone that we have the Fan Junk playlist. So if you have any YouTube videos that involve the Pizza Party podcast or Rebel Taxi, like a fan animation or whatever related, email it to me at rebeltaxi@yahoo.com. There's a link to the Fan Junk playlist below. Also, we have a fan Deviant Art and a fan Reddit linked below.
I like how you say fan in front of that. Like you like.
Well, I'm not involved.
We have a fan.
It's not official.
I know, but like how you say fan is really funny. It's just like we also have a fan YouTube and a fan merch shop. I don't know.
I mean, for all I know,
You say it like, you know, oh, it's not mine. None of this is my stuff. No, it's those dirty fans.
I mean, like, I have no control of them. Like, for all I know, that the fan Deviant Art could just be converted to like I don't know, some sort of anti-Semitic blog post by a neo-Nazi group anytime. You never know.
Guys, make it happen.
Yeah, next week.
April Fool's.
Pan has spoken. Do it.
No, then I'm gonna get somewhat involved. Somewhat.
Go to jail by proxy.
I didn't do anything wrong. But
You're gonna
hey,
get like an anti-pan pizza is a douchebag Tumblr post, like master post, where like list all the things. Well, you probably already have one.
one person did that once. Like, look at this one post he made about Steven Universe. This is pedophilia. It's like, calm down.
Actually, does this count as news? But there's a new Steven bomb coming out January 2nd that week.
Steven Universe is back, everyone. I want to get one of those vinyl figures of those pop vinyls, even though I don't normally like pop vinyls, but I like the ones.
The pop figures are so ugly.
Okay, here's my problem with them. Like the simpler cartoon designs, that works a lot better than the ones that they do of like live action people that are just overly complicated. Like I prefer simple, smooth characters.
Minimalistic.
Yeah, those translate better to vinyl figures than let's say the Marvel movie universe characters.
I think that when it already is a simplistic art style, it's so easy to convert that to a simplistic model.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Well, like the Steven Universe ones are really creepy looking, especially like Garnet looks fine. Garnet looks the best out of the whole set, and it also helps that the soulless dot eyes that look awful on every pop, but for some reason they built their brand around it. I don't have a hatred for him or anything, but like it's hidden behind the glass, so it's cool. But like Steven and Pearl have like this really uncanny creepiness to them. and it's super upsetting when you find out that like the Crewniverse had like help, like they were like gave them design notes and such. And I'm just like, how did you guys agree to this?
Yeah,
like,
you
why?
did this. You could have stopped this. But
Grab Rebecca Sugar by her fucking collar and just be like, "You did this to me."
Ow, what the fuck did I do? Ow, you asshole. I wanted
I said
money.
Rebecca Sugar, not Emily. Not to get you riled up again.
But I do plan on buying them only to support the show. But I plan on painting the faces because I can't handle it.
Oh,
that's so.
sad. I mean, that's kind of a creative way of fixing it. Yeah,
it's so cruel. But I think
I'm actually gonna look these up.
I think pop figures are gonna be the new Beanie Babies.
Oh, definitely.
They really feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, they're already so oversaturated and everywhere, like Hot Topic and stuff. Like, eventually people are going to be like, I don't want to see this shit anymore.
Well, like, getting on trends like amiibos, pop figures, and such, it's really easy to, like, when it first starts out, to jump on it, to start collecting. Because, like, oh, I'll buy one a week or something, you know, like $10 here and there. It doesn't sound so bad. But, like, when I realized that the amiibos at minimum was going to have 59 characters because of Smash Brothers, and then I'm like, oh, these are about $13. Oh. I quickly decided that I'm not going to collect them all.
Yeah. I mean, I hate what Nintendo's doing by doing the, what's it called? Artificial inflation. I think that's what would we call it? But basically, they're purposely limiting supply so there's a high demand. Like, if you see one of those things, you're going to want to buy it. Unless, I mean, look at Skylanders. Like, there's tons of them. And people are like, oh, I can buy that, but whatever. I can buy that any other time.
If this was this was like a couple of months back, I would have agreed with you. But then now... there's a surplus of them. Like I've seen like one Best Buy I went to had like crates full of Marths. I think it might have actually been like I would have called foul play. I would have been like they're just lying about this like strike or something happening with like a shipments or something. But apparently they were actually just trapped in a warehouse. Like there's actually a decent supply everywhere now. Now it might have been artificial early on to like the Wii, you know, like you're saying, I have to get it, otherwise I won't get it at all. But I think they might have been telling the truth.
Don't believe their lies.
Don't believe Ondor's lies. Hey, dude, I actually fucking looked up the pop thing, and Steven is all right. I mean, I hate his hair, but Pearl, I definitely agree. There's something fucked up about her having the only one with blue, unblinking eyes.
Well, I'm glad that she's the only character in the show that has blue eyes. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's another, like, someone in the comments already typing, actually, this character also has colored eyes. But,
actually, if you take off the glasses, Garnet has 3 scary purple eyes.
They're all, well, I think it's blue, red, and purple. But, you know, there's going to be someone to correct me. But Pearl just looks like the Jack in the Box mascot.
Oh my god, you're right.
Oh, look at him!
Oh fuck!
And she's doing like she's doing an adorable like strong arm stance.
She has the nose too.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
god.
that and like Pearl makes sense why the figures have noses, but like I think the other ones they just draw them on and it bothers me. Or like Steven randomly has a nose, but normally pop figures don't, and I'm just like, why'd you decide this?
Yo, guys, I found Peter Griffin.
Oh.
If you guys haven't seen him yet,
Oh
No.
boy.
No.
Peter Griffin pop vinyl.
that is a ball sack.
That is
That
horrifying.
There's no way around it. It is a ball sack.
I mean, I
But
think
the coolest thing is that we're going to get foam weapons later on. So we're basically going to get Hulk hands for Garnet's gauntlets.
can't wait.
Oh,
Is that true?
It's true. It's happening.
Is it official? Like I need to know.
Well, I mean, like it's not official that they announced which weapons, but they've stated that they named off the 5 companies they're making figures or toys, and some of the toys aren't really like toys. Like one of them's like, oh, they're gonna make mystery bags where you can get like plushies and dog tags, and I'm like, those aren't toys. I mean, plushies are, but dog tags, no. But one of the companies is making foam like role play weapons.
Yes.
even if it has to be like fan made, I just want like the Steven shield just to hang on my wall.
Oh yeah.
'Cause that is
if it was
fucking
also
sick, yeah.
transparent, yeah.
yeah. Oh, that would be great too.
But I don't think they're gonna make a toy out of Amethyst's weapon. Like, can you make a toy out of a whip?
They will find like a really weird way to get around it. Like they'll still make something amethyst because
Steven Universe brand rope.
basically.
Jump rope, I guess.
Oh no, skip it. We need a skip it thing.
Oh, break everyone's knees with it. I love it.
Like,
Though there is enough characters now that we could easily get away with just having Garnet's gauntlets, Steven's shield, Pearl's spear thing, and then like Jasper's helmet.
Peridot's legs and arms.
no, Paradox legs and arms would be like moon shoes.
Oh yeah, like slippers,
Yeah.
but like really tall slippers.
I want
You
the
guys-
goggles.
No, I think
Imagine like a kid walking around on like 2-foot tall stilts and big long arms.
I think like Paradox arms could work as like a Nerf gun.
Oh, that'd be like a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Like that'd be cool.
I mean, her fingers do look like Nerf bullets.
But are you guys interested in hearing like what the episodes are going to be about?
What are they about?
Okay, so spoilers in case anyone. The first episode coming back is going to be Garnet explaining how Ruby and Sapphire met, which means we're going to actually finally see what Gem World's going to look like.
We don't know. I mean, they could be born on Earth.
No, like we've seen a clip, or I've seen a minute-long clip.
Oh.
Yeah. No, wait. No, we're not going to see. You're right. No, the clip specifies that they're on Earth. Never mind.
Fucking thanks.
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry, man.
Jesus.
Sorry, I got excited. I got super excited.
Everyone here had a 2-foot long boner, and you just fucking ruined it.
I'm the worst. I just became the worst.
Fucking flaccid now. Thanks a lot, Stev.
I'm the Brita of this podcast.
Made Nolan cry. At his flaccid dick.
Then the other episodes are so they're really exciting. They range from Steven's birthday to something happens. I can't remember the exact things, which I guess works for people that want to look it up. But I know the last episode out of the bomb is Steven looks at Paradox recorder and listens in to what she's been saying. That's exciting.
I got this one fucking theory about the birthday episode. I don't think they're gonna do it, but it's just a thought. Steven Universe has been taking a lot of notes from like animes and stuff, and in the description for Steven's birthday, he says something about how he has a lot of growing up to do. I almost wonder if they're going to try and age up Steven a little bit.
I mean,
I don't
his
know why.
maturity has changed throughout the show.
Yeah, I mean like physically changing in some kind of way. Because we've seen characters in the past like go through like a physical change, like all the gems changed, and then Peridot became short, and I'm wondering if they're going to maybe change Steven visually in some way.
Maybe. I don't think it would be during this season, though, because so many of the episodes have happened within days. Like, literally, the current arc has been episode ends, and then the next episode follows up, like, a couple of hours afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like an even smaller Ed and Eddie, where Ed and Eddie takes place during the summer, but this takes place in like 5 days. What if the entire series took place in like 3 days?
Well, at the exact same time, the first season takes place like I think in the course of like 2 years or something.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, because like Connie says something that like implies, I think it was the nightmare episode where she's like, I've been doing this for years. You know, like I've been doing this for like a year. I lost my glasses. I've been wearing glasses for a year and you didn't even notice, Mom. Great parenting.
I like how that almost sounded like Connie's been robbing banks. Like, I've been doing this for years, Mom.
What do you know? You don't know me.
But here's a topic that'd be fun to discuss because everyone here is fans of Steven Universe. It sounds like. How do you guys feel about the Steven bombs?
Just in general,
like in a storytelling perspective, and also, would you prefer having 5 episodes in 1 week or 5 episodes throughout 5 weeks and then a constant update? Like, because the reason why we went on hiatus so quickly was 2 things. One that may get me in trouble is that there's been a lot of issues. And then the other thing is that the Steven bombs, well, the first one was planned because obviously they mess around with schedule stuff. The second one wasn't. That's very clear by like how it had no arc. But then Sardonyx and this one both seem like they're built around certain episodes. So it seems more planned, and they also are really, ratings juggernaut. Mm-hmm. From my perspective, I don't mind if the episodes are like linked together as Steven bombs, but think how we would have felt about Sardonyx, where apparently it was months of Garnet and Pearl fighting over the situation, but we saw it through the span of a week. What if we saw 1 episode a week where that took 5 weeks for us to go through? Their fight would have seemed a lot more impactful versus they made it like, oh man, finally it's over. Like the characters said that themselves, and then it's like, well, no, it just happened in a couple of days to us. It didn't seem as like daunting,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think in that way, it's like, what's better, watching a TV show or watching a movie? Because in that case, it's more like, it's less like we're watching a show and we're watching like some special. Like the other equivalent is they just make some like hour-long or hour-and-a-half long special, which I guess would make it a feature, of a Steven Universe kind of movie or short where these events like carry out. So if you were to see it more as like just a movie, then you could appreciate it like that, I guess. But if it was spanned over a long time, I think a lot of people would, this is just coming from my perspective and my experience with shows that do that. I think a lot of people would have liked it when it was finally over. But I think a lot of people could also start thinking like it'd start feeling tedious. Because how many episodes did it take? 5?
It took 5. So like we would have had 5 weeks of them constantly fighting. And I could see where that would have felt really like it was a blessing in disguise that we got them all at once. But I just wanted to kind of like throw that perspective of how you watch episodes may also affect the narrative to people.
For me, it feels sort of up in the air. I think it could have maybe worked if they spanned it over a couple of months because each episode wasn't entirely focused on their fight. I mean, we had the ones like when they went to the motel and stuff, and that one was centered around that story arc. But then we had things like, the goofy play where you could almost forget that backstory problem was happening. So in that case, it wouldn't have felt too tedious, I guess, the whole time.
But then you also have like this next arc, which feels appropriate because it's happening so close to each other that like if the last like few Peridot episodes where it's literally an hour from each other, that would have been perfect for a Steven bomb, I think. To follow up with what you were last saying, I was fucking frustrated every time they couldn't catch Peridot. That pissed me off so much. I was just sitting there like, this could be so easy. Peridot seems like such an idiot. Why can no one seem to catch her? And then they did, and it was rewarding, though. So, again, I'm a little back and forth about it. Yeah. But the other thing is the Steven bombs, airing them so close together, obviously catches them up on the production schedule, which means Steven bombs force us to go on hiatus a lot more than a regular 5 week, 5 episodes of 5 weeks, So like, what do we prefer? Like, because I know we're being conditioned to like the Steven universe, Steven bombs.
Yeah, I guess it's just sort of like, are you willing to wait? Although, I guess if you're like a fan of like the Gravity Falls fandom, they'll put out like a 30-minute episode and then fuck off for like 2 months and then come back with another episode and then fuck off for another 2 months. So each fandom already has a lot of waiting anyways. Well, what I meant is there's a lot of shows that already have like people having to wait for arbitrary reasons.
Is it though? Or is it just Disney and Nickelodeon?
Yeah. I actually don't. I can't quite speak for networks. I don't know why.
Gravity Falls was a special case because the show's been wrapped up since summer. Which, by the way, guys, for the ones that the first time I was on the podcast, we had to edit it out. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about Gravity Falls ended way before it was announced. Whoops.
Stev has connections and stuff, and fuck you, Stev.
Steph knows people in high places. Don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
These weird animation parties and mansions.
Basically, a friend of mine worked on Wabbit, offered me a job to work on it, but I was out of town at the time, so like I couldn't do it. Like it would have been like a weekend job. And he mentioned that Gravity Falls was out of production and such. I was like, oh, that's cool. And so it makes sense why there's hiatuses so much with Gravity Falls, because they only had so many episodes to work out, and they're clearly working on merchandise coming out in 2016. So they had to air a couple of it to keep the hype up, and then that's the reason why the finale is not airing until next year, is because they have a number 3 journal, like role play version of that, like a real version coming out, and they need the people to still be caring about Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's a shame.
Merchandise, I guess, takes a long time and stuff, but yeah, they're making a journal, like a legit journal for Gravity Falls.
It's so exciting.
I can't wait to draw Gravity Falls porn in it.
I mean, I noticed like a lot of cartoons in the post 2010s have a book of their own, like Adventure Time has the Enchiridion, My Little Pony has some friendship book, and Gravity Falls has this thing. I don't know. Yeah.
Huh. I guess, well, from like a plot perspective, it's kind of easy to... That could function well as like a plot device. You open up the book and then it's like, oh, there's a new adventure.
Yeah.
Well, every show, usually especially kids shows, will have either a book or a person that's knowledgeable about stuff, because the main character can't know, because they're the proxy. Like you basically have to have someone tell them information about the universe, and that's teaching you as well. Yeah. And so usually you have an older person being like, oh, that's the Lipicorn. He does Lipicorn stuff. Yeah. Or you have a book to look up, and that's how you get those information.
Yeah, exposition.
Yeah, I'm not counting it out or anything. Just saying, like, a book is a easy way to do that, because it kind of harkens back to olden time stories that we would literally read out of old books and be like, oh, I haven't seen this before, and it'd have some great, awesome story in it. Or I guess it could also relate back to like treasure hunting stories, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but on top of that, you have like Pokemon that had the Pokedex.
Yeah.
That was its way of doing it.
Yeah. And I have a story that I'm writing for myself, and I actually had a moment where I thought of having a book. Like, I'd have my own reason for why the book is there. And at some point, though, at least in the case of my story that I was writing, I actually grew distant from that because it felt a little too plot devicey. So, yeah, it felt too like, it had nothing to do with the overall like theme. The book suddenly just felt so like mysterious and archaeology-like, and it had no place in the story. So I think in some ways it can work in some places and it can work in others. For Gravity Falls, it works perfectly because it works with the overall theme of the story of solving mysteries.
Oh, yeah, it definitely plays up.
And with Adventure Time, I think it works great too, because it's supposed to be an adventure, and that a magical, all-knowing book that's like every fantasy.
I would also argue that Jake the dog also acts. Jake and the Bubblegum Girl both act as kind of like that expert character as well.
Oh, yeah. It is kind of confusing though. Why is it that Finn is so sometimes very unknowledgeable about the world around him, though he was raised in, the world, just like Jake? You
mean Finn? Why Finn wasn't knowledgeable? I don't know. He's still he's like 13 at the time. He still doesn't know everything.
I guess so. I guess he's kind of like dumb, like a kid would be dumb then.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm actually remembering it wrong. The last time I watched Adventure Time was like a year and a half ago. So
That's how everyone watches it a year and a half ago.
I actually watched it backwards for whatever reason. Yeah, like a lot of people are like, you gotta catch the latest Adventure Time, and Adventure Time wasn't one of those like shows that like really caught me to where like I had to watch it, and so I wound up watching the latest episode and just kind of clicked back and watched in reverse. It was interesting.
That's awesome.
So you got all the plots in reverse?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you watch it in reverse?
I don't know. Like I guess I didn't realize that Adventure Time had a plot like that was like overarching.
Oh.
I thought it was like one of those like, oh, watch anything. Like
Like a
I watched Criminal Minds. Like you guys heard the show Criminal Minds, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I watched that on Netflix, but I just randomly click on episodes.
Oh yeah. No, it's the next Law and Order. It's straight up just like, we don't fucking care. This episode's about some bullshit. I don't know.
But I also miss, because I don't watch TV. I don't watch, like, actual live television. And I kind of miss the random, don't have to decide on the episode. It just pops up, not where, I miss that. Reruns.
Yeah. I guess, like, for me, I can just open up YouTube and, find one of those, like, Freak of the Week type story. Although, I guess a lot of that resonates with Let's Plays nowadays, so it is a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unless I want to go out of my way and, like, start torrenting shows, but that's a whole legal issue that, I don't really want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think torrenting's bad if there's not an official DVD release.
Yeah.
Yeah. People get in debates about it all the time. Like, I've had people say, like, it's a huge moral issue for them, which is something entirely different that I can't even really argue with because that's all their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a box next to me because I don't have a bookshelf to put them. But like, I have a medium-sized Lowe's moving box full of movies and box sets, mostly box sets. And I'm like, if they release a full season of a TV show and I remotely like it, I will support them. I don't even like regular show, and I almost bought the Blu-rays just because it's such the best. It's the best like format I've ever seen Cartoon Network ever do for a TV series. It was like season 1 and 2 Blu-ray, every episode commentary, and I want it to be like, okay, Cartoon Network, this is how you do it. I don't even like this show, and I bought this.
Yeah. Like, Pen, when you mentioned the possibility that they were going to have regular show on Laserdisc, even though it was just an idea, that broke my heart because I wish that would have been true.
I know I wanted that. Like I know other companies wanted to make a laser disc, but there's no manufacturer that will make them. Like the classic Game Room, this web show of internet reviews, like that they wanted to make a laser disc, but they couldn't. So all they could do was make a laser disc shape. Well, a case of a laser disc and turn that into a DVD case that carries 4 discs.
Oh, it'd be, open it up and it's just like a little disc in the middle.
Yeah, it's not as exciting though.
Just like da 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 da. Oh fuck!
Oh, no. This isn't Laserdisc. This is a fucking fraud. Wow.
Oh. I do like that records are kind of making a comeback though.
Yeah, that's something like maybe Laserdiscs will. Then again, I guess VHS is the movie equivalent of a record.
The Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition on video. In a galaxy far, far away.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
It's a battle of good against evil. Come with me. With new scenes, new sounds, and new special effects. Experience adventure like never before.
It is your destiny.
The Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition, rated PG, available for a limited time.
Speaking of that, so I was hoping Jim would be on because I think he would be blown away by this, but I had not actually seen any of the Star Wars movies.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Up until like a couple of days ago, my friend Tristan, he had a VHS copy because he wanted me to see the original version before George Lucas started editing stuff, and he burned them to a disc. And so I watched Watch the first one. I'm going to watch the second one tomorrow of the Star Wars movies, and the first movie's really boring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
There's like nothing that happens. I like it's literally them walking in a desert for like an hour. And then,
you mean A New Hope?
Yeah, A New Hope. Yeah, and
you want to fucking die?
I know. I see why people like it, and I'm really excited to see the second one because I heard the second one's like the best one out of the set. So this is where I'm going to see if Star Wars is good or not.
Yeah.
But like the New Hope, I was watching it and I accidentally clicked off. Like I was working on stuff while I was watching it, and I clicked on a VLC player thing, and it automatically swapped, and I was like, no, my movie experience. And I clicked back on. I'm just gonna scrub through, and I found out that was like 59 minutes into the movie, and I was like, that was 59. That was an hour. I thought it was like 20 minutes in.
The first time I watched Star Wars when I was like, I guess 13 or so, like I thought it was super fucking boring, but for some reason I kept watching them over and over again and grew to love them.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I have a great respect for respect's not the word. I have a great love for sci-fi and visuals specifically. So I looked at it as like I didn't really look at it from like a modern perspective. I did look at it like an old movie. And looking at it at the time, I thought the puppets were super cool. So I guess I got more connected to, and all the old special effects. So what I had for The New Hope was I kept looking at that, and I kept listening to the music, and I appreciated it from a visual perspective. But I will agree, I think people, especially now that like A Force Awakens come out, and people are starting to like kind of talk shit on, oh, this character wasn't that cool. Oh, the story is so much better with like Luke and Ben and stuff. To be fair, Luke was kind of a pansy jackass sometimes in A New Hope.
He's so whiny in the first movie.
He's just like,
But I want to go to the academy.
No, man, but I got Ben, why do I gotta be here? I gotta go back to the Hachi station. It's like, fuck you.
But I was gonna go to Hachi Station to pick up some power converters.
I just have no idea what's happening because I haven't seen Star Wars either.
Power converters.
But what Nolan? I will say is that Han Solo is a sexy man. Like, no, I'm watching it. I'm just like, I'm straight. But that guy's like smiles good. Like he's got a lot of charisma and like his chin. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like perfect human.
Did he make you gay just for a second?
Yeah, we're on a spectrum of sexualities, I think, but like, he's a very charismatic, attractive man. I understand now all the women.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
good job, Harrison Ford. Everybody applause.
In my library, I'll never fucking forget this. In my library, see, back when I was in elementary school, let's say third grade, so I had to have been like 9 or 8, way before puberty, where I understood any of that. I didn't watch any Star Wars movies, and I didn't know who Harrison Ford was. But it only came to my attention a few years ago that in my library, next to my librarian's desk, was a huge, 4-foot-tall poster of shirtless Harrison Ford.
What?
And I don't fucking know how they got away with that. But there's just a shirtless Harrison Ford hanging in my school's library.
Why?
And I guess because the librarian liked Harrison Ford.
I check out that book every day.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't love his book.
But
I really get sucked in.
So but I want to help illustrate the experience of what I'm watching here. It's standard definition, so 4:3, and at the very bottom of the screen is that VHS warping.
Awesome.
Oh, that little blurry, that warp and shit. Oh, nice.
So I'm watching it in the most authentic way possible.
Yeah, but it's a digital print of it. It's not the real VHS tape.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not the 8mm.
All right, fine, Pan. Let me go get the VHS.
Yeah.
Let me find it. For $10, I could probably get a VHS player and VCR is I think what they were called, and a old school TV from Goodwill, and then watch it just to please you.
I'm actually astounded how easy it is to get things like Star Wars just on classic VHS and stuff unaltered. I keep thinking it would be like a rarity, but not really for Star Wars.
Well, I'm sure they made 1 billion prints of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure George Lucas tried his best to get like as many prints out as possible when he was making the prequels. Because even when it was on VHS, he made that like altered version of like the other Star Wars movies, not the prequels, the original. And those were on VHS, and then he went to DVD and then Blu-ray, and then he just kept fucking going.
I'm just waiting for like for Disney to officially release the Star Wars Christmas special. Like in perfect HD quality. Like I'm waiting for that.
I already own that.
I watched. Okay, so I lied. I have seen Star Wars before, but it was episode 1, and I seen the Christmas special, and now I've seen the 4th one.
The one that you should enjoy, but.
No. But the Christmas special is amazing.
It's my like favorite part is actually my favorite part is those 1970s commercials. Did any of you get that copy that comes with the commercials?
No.
Oh, I haven't actually sat down and watched the full thing.
It's a great time. My favorite one, it's 2 of them. The first commercial is like straight up an eagle flying through some big open wooden area, and you hear this guy being all like, you have to stay to a strict ideal. If you diverge from the strict ideal, then you have lost a part of yourself. And very patriotic and very American. And then it ends with, buy our home appliances.
What is it?
Buy our goddamn washing machine.
I just wanted a
and
pet
God
eagle.
bless America.
What is this?
And then the other one was fucking a robot that just, it's just an RC car, but it's a robot, you know? And that's its whole thing. And it's pretending like, it's the fucking future, except it's 1970s. And it's all like, sleek design, responsive controls, tow bar. It's robot spelled backwards.
That's their gimmick? Robot spelled backwards? That's all they have?
That was it. And I was watching that with my sister, and she leaned over to me, and she was like, that was their whole campaign. They wrote tow bar. They wrote robot on a whiteboard and then put up a mirror up to it, and it's like, this is all we got.
Like, that's all they had. I don't know what they were selling, but it's like, hey, aren't we really clever? Robot, tow bar, huh?
So
buy our stuff.
Were any of you guys fans of Beast Wars?
Oh god,
fucking love Beast Wars, but. The old commercials has the best. Okay, there's 2 things in them. One, Beast to Bot, the action's hot. This was used a lot.
From Beast to Bot, the action's 3 times as hot.
What?
Yeah, that was a common line.
Beast to
and then
Bot?
another thing. Yeah, Beast to Bot, the action's hot.
Fuck that, I'm gonna
Beast
say that
Wars.
somewhere. I need to use that somewhere.
And then the other thing is that like a lot of the old school Transformers videos would have like the kids playing with toys, and then at the very end the kid would turn to the screen and then would have like the robot voice, robots in disguise, like that type of thing.
That.
Oh yeah,
that was
so
scary.
They've done that for like the first iteration of Transformers.
So bad.
That robot voice, they use the hell out of it for every Transformers iteration.
Yeah.
It's a good voice.
No robot sounded like that in the actual show, I guess.
No.
Y'all just kind of sounded like dudes yelling through tubes.
Yeah, they may have like some kind of distortion effect on all the robot voices.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then like
except for in Beast Wars.
Were they just like regular dudes, just like, hello, I am Beast War guy.
Yeah, and they recasted a Peter Cullen, and they got a new voice for Optimus Primal.
Yeah.
Great name.
The best thing about Beast Wars though was Megatron, David Key, I think was his name. Not Goliath, but another guy. He just randomly started going, yes, and that just became a recurring thing for the character. You can look at compilations where it's like, yes, no, yes, yes, they will not win, yes.
He bends Megatron over and he's like, yes.
I'm so stoked. BotCon is happening in Louisville, Kentucky this year, and that's my hometown, so I have a place to stay. My mom's place,
yeah.
But and it's only like 2 hours away. But they're gonna have Silverbolt's voice actor, which my favorite Transformer ever is Beast Wars Silverbolt, and Scott McNeil is going to be there, and I'm going to actually pay for someone's autograph. I don't do that very often.
Mom, can I stay over? There's a Transformer convention in town.
Yes, Steph.
Of course. I just like the company.
That's actually what she said.
Go watch your Transforms and your robots, your Devil's cartoon.
No, she always just does the,
Well, I guess that's what they're into these days.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's kind of sad that the new Transformers cartoon is just dumped on like 7 a.m. on Cartoon Network.
Have you actually watched it?
I stay up so late that I translate from Adult Swim to Cartoon Network, and that's when they just play a bunch of stuff nobody cares about.
Mm-hmm. Have you actually watched the new Robots in Disguise cartoon?
I left it on in the background, and I thought the visuals are pretty fugly.
The whole show's fugly.
That almost sounded like a compliment, and then it just turned into an insult.
Oh,
it's like the visuals were pretty ugly.
From a like franchise perspective, it's actually like the coolest idea they've done in a while. Execution wise, it's awful. Basically, a ship full of Decepticons crash lands on Earth. And so Bumblebee, I guess, using Force Ghost, Optimus Prime comes back to him as a ghost, being like, "Hey, you need to do this shit for me. I'm dead." And it's like, "All right, cool." Him and a couple others, a couple others go to Earth by mistake, and they're like hunting down, capturing the Decepticons. So like, it's a villain of a week type of thing. So that's exciting, and that works for toys. But then the toys literally don't have any Decepticons. They have like 2.
What? What's the point? What are they fighting?
Well, they're fighting Decepticons. They just don't have the toys out. You can only get the good guys.
So this is more like a lack in marketing then.
Yeah, I mean, well, also the show's awful, like writing wise, but like the idea behind it is really, really smart. Like I can't believe it's failing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I guess the movies are more popular than the show itself now.
Yeah, I mean,
the
that's
newer
true.
incarnations. I think the last one anybody ever really cared about was
Well, Prime and Animated were both really popular.
Wyatt cartoon that most people really liked.
That's the new standard, yeah, because that one had Jared J. White as the art designer, and then it had a couple of the writers from Beast Wars, and that was a really good combination. Like, it was a little too jokey sometimes, at least in my personal taste, but like it had so much respect for all of Transformers, and it had a decent story.
Yeah, I mean, I know me and a lot of other people didn't give it a chance when it was on because the art style was so different from what came before.
I just don't like Derek J. Wyatt's art style, period.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what are you trying to say, Nolan?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Trying to say you don't like white people, dude?
Listen, you always do this to me, Hayden. You always try to turn this into a racially charged dilemma, but no.
I don't do shit, man. It's always you walking around with your racism in your pocket.
No, listen. I said nigger like once in the early episodes, okay? Fuck off.
Blame it on the Wyatt man.
Yep. Blame it on the Wyatt.
Wyatt, you're always fucking things up.
That was actually a good one, Pan. Good job. I give you credit for that one.
Yeah.
Then after Animated, they had Prime. And Prime was good. It was a CG show. It looked nice. Writing-wise, it was more dark than what we've seen.
Yeah.
And then they also gave Starscream some nice stilettos.
But I think Transformers Prime on the Hub channel, like, the action scenes were directed really well since it was 3D CGI and they could take advantage with the camera angles and such.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't watch the actual show itself, so yeah.
I did. I really liked it for the most part.
But another thing that bugged me about Transformers Animated is like, I sometimes call it Transformers Barely Animated because it looks so choppy and just like a bunch of frames are missing.
Well, especially in season 3 because I think their budget got cut. And so, like, they're like, the frame rate drops below 12 frames per second. I think at some points it's like 5 or 6.
Jeez.
It's nowhere near as bad as the original Ghostbusters cartoon, though.
Like the Filmation Ghostbusters, or like
no, the real Ghostbusters. during like the later seasons, there was like low budget things. There's like a point where like I think Ray walking downstairs was done like in 4 frames.
Yeah, I think the worst is Hammerman, the MC Hammer cartoon. Like the entire series, well, the 13 episodes that were made are just shot at like 10 frames per second. Like they didn't give a shit.
Well, 10 frames per second is not as bad as you think.
Okay, well, I don't know what a super shitty low amount of frames, like a noticeably bad amount of frames, I guess.
Like, because I was talking to Nolan earlier because he was talking about like frame rates and such, and like I guess people don't know this, but obviously film is done at 24 frames per second, right? Mm-hmm. And American cartoons are done 12 frames per second on television. Obviously, movies they do 24 frames or higher. But in like TV shows, it's very common for them to be 12 frames per second. Every drawing is shown twice, you know. But then I found out that most animes are animated 9 frames per second because they save on money. So like every frame's shown like 3 times, and then they change to the next one.
American animation, they photograph it 2 times the frames. With Japan, it's 3 frames. But I think it's the other way around. But I don't think they do that anymore. I think that's for old cell
No,
animation.
they definitely stepped up quality unless you're Toei. And
oh, fucking bomb, dude.
Yeah, you were mentioning me and Stev were talking on Skype the other day, and I mentioned how I really liked One Piece, and he mentioned how he really didn't, and I said why, and you basically what did you say exactly?
To clarify, I love the manga. I love the comic. I read that weekly. It's the actual show itself. It's just really choppy and it's lazy. But Toei Animation, they like have a cash cow. It makes so much money, and they don't have to actually up the production value. There's no point because we were going to continue watching it regardless.
Oh,
I'm just kind of surprised how you're like super cynical about like professional animation and stuff. Just like you're such an upbeat guy, and then. Listen, all animation is garbage. Fuck animation.
Listen, don't get a studio job, all right?
I had a studio job.
Oh, yeah?
A broken bird.
No, that's what you're saying to other people. Like, hey, man, don't get a studio job.
No. It just depends. Like, I guess my issue with a lot of like productions, it's on television. Like, obviously, Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, it's all like traditionally animated where they ship it off to Korea. It's awesome, but like it's usually the like Toon Boom Flash animated shows that are done in America that bother me. Like Netflix just released today or yesterday a new show called F is for Family. Have you guys heard about this at all?
Oh yeah, I actually heard it was actually really good.
It's interesting. I after like watching all 6 episodes, I like it. But if you just watch the first one, I think you'd be like horribly turned off. But like animation wise, it's just you could definitely tell that it's like produced in America, low budget. Every frame's reused. Hands, there's like points where there's not even in betweens for hands. I even noticed like one of the characters' arms, the line doesn't connect all the way. Like they moved it too far. Oh, no. And but that's something normal people won't notice. But someone that's like animated would be like, that need another pass.
That's why I'm kind of worried, because I started recently thinking about making my own stuff, and maybe I might make this animated someday. And then hearing all these horror stories, it's just like, do I want to? But I'm worried my taste might be, my standards might be too high for what the industry is.
Well, my point is, I'm not cynical about like web animation, because usually it's like an independent person working on no budget. So like I think the quality can fluctuate there. I don't mind. You know, a lot of the techniques that I'm complaining about from from TV productions are stuff that I use myself. You know, like but I'm one guy, and maybe that's just justifying it as me being lazy. But for the most part, when there's like 20, 30 to 100 people working on a TV show, I expect a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the family is the F is for Family. It starts out as like a generically Family Guy oriented show where like it seems like it's gonna be random episodes, but then plot points start actually overarching as the episodes go on, and ultimately it's a very bittersweet show.
So kind of like BoJack Horseman in a way.
Kind of. I like BoJack Horseman more.
Oh, I mean, they're both they're both Netflix original series, and they both have overarching plots. So I guess that's what Netflix is going to try doing.
Yeah, I mean, because Kulapari is the same way. I think right now, out of all their stuff, it feels like they already have like a niche with the live action, and now they're just kind of like, all right, we're doing DreamWorks animation, we're doing these Flash animated shows, or I think they're all made out of Flash. I think the F is for Family might be Toon Boom. But you can honestly, 9 times out of 10, especially how these production pipes work, you can't tell the difference between Toon Boom or Flash animated shows.
Oh yeah, they kind of like blend together. I mean, aren't they the same like principles of anime, like the sort of the same tools?
Yeah, I mean, like it's all puppeted where the characters are built and then they add new pieces if they have to.
Yeah,
and then they a lot of times use the pencil tool, which has no line weights, which really it's a smart technique because if you don't know how to use line weights, you could easily make a drawing look ugly. And so, but so you basically lower the skill or you heighten the skill floor, making everything look on par with stuff. But you also like pull people back that know how to use the greater technique, so it evens it out for better and for worse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if this is getting too technical.
Oh no,
No, that's fine. I'm sure a lot of people find it fascinating since it's an animation-oriented podcast. But
I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
But
it's so sweet, Aiden.
Fair warning: the 4th or 5th episode into the show, I guess spoiler, basically ends up with one of the kids underneath the bed as. and like I just remember like stopping everything I'm doing and just focusing. I'm like,
wow.
And in the same episode, the kid, or it might have been the episode before, but he goes into a ball game's bathroom for the first time by himself, and he sees dicks for the first time.
Isn't that how everyone does it?
And he's like traumatized. Like there's this awesome sequence, kind of like the BoJack Horseman intro, where like it's the same camera, him in focus, but the background's moving. And it's just his like destroyed face. So the show's kind of fucked up at the same time.
Yeah. Is this is a Netflix show? You said, right? Okay. I don't know why, but for half this conversation, I was under the impression this was a kids show.
No.
And then I just hear dicks, and I'm like, oh, kids can't see that.
Oh, I mean, like, it looks. I mean, from the looks of it, I thought it was gonna be like some 6-episode long Fox TV show that would be the next like
Alan Gregory,
the new generation of Alan Gregory.
But, or the Napoleon Dynamite cartoon.
Yeah,
the Napoleon Dynamite cartoon, if I'm going to be fair, is that was just meant to be mid-season filler. Nobody actually expected that to be a full series.
Okay.
Yeah, they just were just like, we need something to fill up like this mid-season gap.
Also, you guys keep talking about how Sit Down, Shut Up is awful. I actually really want that on DVD.
Oh, right. I forgot that existed.
There's an episode.
I don't think I've ever commented on it.
Yeah,
I actually
think I remember mentioning that once.
It was on a podcast. It was on. I watched.
That's how little we care about that show.
There's an episode where Will Arnett gets hit by a car, and the principal's hiding him because they can't. The school doesn't have health insurance, and like it's been like months. He's stuck in that car, like in the windshield, and he starts thinking he's the car. Like he's like, I am now one with the vehicle. And there's a part where like he picks up a hooker and like they're making out, and she's like, I've never made out with a transformer before. It's hilarious. The show is so good, and I don't understand why people hate it.
Yeah, that actually does sound kind of funny.
Well,
maybe it was just one of those shows where they advertised it so poorly, nobody gave it a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
it's written by the same people who did Arrested Development.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know, like a lot of Fox TV shows, they always any sort of like adult-oriented TV show that isn't an Adult Swim, they're always like, "Hey, look how offensive we are," like Brickleberry.
Yeah, as everybody knows from listening, I'm very offensive, but that's just because I don't really care. I'm not actually trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be casual. But fucking, I hate it when shows try to use offensive-ness to like sell their show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're just on like a podcast like this, or if you're just like in a Skype call, then be offensive. Whatever. Who gives a shit? You're just having fun. But like if you're actually like doing something that has money behind it, actually try to be fucking creative. You hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no like there's no advertisements for this podcast at all. But there isn't an advertisement for a podcast like this where it's like, oh, they all say like fuck and talk about Jews and shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a part of the marketing. It's just something that's there, you know?
Yeah. When people rely on like offensiveness or like some kind of I can't think of the right word, but basically just some kind of
cliche.
Yeah, cliche, I guess, is the closest thing. And or niche, yeah.
Like the one thing about Pan's videos when he does reviews is that you kind of have more of a like, how do I want to describe it? It's different from other reviews because usually it's like the angry review where it's like, oh no, now I have to review this thing because the demon inside the movie came out.
That's like every review ever. They always do. It's such a cliche at this point.
It's so awful, but people were like, that was popular. Like for a while there after Angry Video Game Nerd, if it wasn't angry or rageful, no one was going to watch it, you know? Like that was the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that was sort of why I make game reviews. We never were formally introduced, sir, but I make game reviews, and I like a lot of my game reviews, if not all of them, are always relatively positive because I slightly hate it when a game review will just boil down to a guy ranting about absolutely nothing, and then at the end of it, it's like, so this game was fucking horrible. And then you'll actually play the game and be like, no, it wasn't. It was just sort of bad sometimes. You know, like, because people will get really angry at these games and then they'll call it out for being like the worst thing ever. But it's not. It's just really not. And at the end of the day, it's a video game too. So there's no reason to get so brutally upset. So yeah.
Or the fact that 90% of internet reviews aren't actually reviews. They're not actually like looking at the pros and cons of said game or movie. It's usually more like skits.
Yeah. Well, in that case, it's like you're not watching the review, you're watching the show, you know? And they use video games as a method of, you know, doing comedy.
Well, it's you. If I go, hey, I'm playing Mario pops up in the search. It's something relatable that you can click on. They're more or less being like content parasites. I mean, I do the same thing. I draw cartoon characters that aren't my own for my YouTube channel. That gets people to come. No one's going to search, you know, Aquamarine or Stev and Kaiju drawings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking hack.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just do what people are constantly searching up, and someone will find you.
Yeah. I mentioned this on Hayden JRadGex's Thought Can, which I'm gonna be on, by the way. I also mentioned
someday.
Yeah, whenever that comes up. But we were talking about reviewers on there too, and there's also like, and I mentioned Nostalgia Critic, but I also mentioned how I really hate it when they just do this like really, really it's always this kind of formula for when he kind of like realizes something, and a lot of other people do this too. It's just a cliche I hate myself, and I just want to mention. But it's when they're talking about how something's bad, and they just realize how some people don't get it, but then they stop and their voice changes. And then this sappy music starts playing. And they start going, and like, maybe it's because it's something else. Maybe it's because it's something that we just remembered as kids. Ooh, and like they just go on this long rant, and then they'll usually end it with a joke just to like soften the mood. I just hate that. I know I mentioned that on Can, but I just needed to mention it again because I really hate it.
I think actually the way that I could sort of. Kind of bounce with that is I think because I sort of did that with Spyro. I mean, my opinion didn't change by the ending, but I sort of did that with my Spyro review, and I think what that was based around, or at least why I based the analysis around, is like you think about it like a TV show, and then or you think about it like an actual story, and so you think about a character, a like development of the story, like
character
you
arc.
start. Yeah, I guess a character arc. I didn't want to. Yeah, I guess it's a character arc though, because you start one way, and then by the end of it, your opinion changes.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted me to use a nostalgia critic example, he did a review of The Grinch, and throughout the whole review, he kept saying like, "Oh, it's shit, it's awful, it's this, it's that, blah blah blah." And by the end of it, he points out all these points about how it's terrible, and then it ends, and he's like, "There, I have proven my point," and no one's opinions changed at all. And so the story is essentially the same story as The Grinch, where him as a character, he changes and nobody else changes, and that's the idea. Is that he didn't change anything at all. It was him, nostalgia critic, that had changed in mindset. Essentially,
yeah, but then at the end, he also does the joke.
But then he has the joke at the end. Yeah, no, I think that where it really dies with nostalgia critic is the fact that it's a little ham-fistedly executed, and he does it a lot, and it gets to a point where it's like, can you have an ending that just ends differently?
Yeah,
because you'll see the same story play out, and even though it was good once, it's going to be the same shit every time, and that's boring. You know?
Yeah, well, like, because I think a lot of reviewers early on, like newer reviewers or younger ones, they're like trying to make their own content. They see like because the moments that you love out of the angry reviews is usually like, this game is awful, blah blah blah, and they usually go on a rant, but it's usually towards the end. And so like I've seen a lot of people, a couple of my friends trying to do their own reviews, and like they jump right into it. They play their hand too soon. Mm-hmm. And if you already know their opinion on it, why watch the whole thing? Obviously, because they're funny and they have a great personality and you want to watch it. But from a natural first time you watch the video standpoint, you have to kind of come into it with being neutral and presenting the stuff, and then you coming to the conclusion that you hate it or love it. And that is the natural narrative of like, you know, what you want. Versus,
I think, like, yeah, it's like you don't start so damn strong, you know? Actually, a gym had a... I keep using this example, but which makes me wonder if it's starting to lose its original meaning. But I just love the way like Jim put this. It's it has to do with pacing, where like in a story you want to actually pace yourself, slow down, let something play out naturally, and then build to the more stronger parts of the story. You don't want to just constantly be pushing like, and then this, and then this, and then this, and all this stuff. And he compared it to like having sex and including like foreplay. Whereas you can't just immediately stick it in. Like you need to kind of get into it. You need to take a moment to feel each other and all that stuff. And actually like get into it, I think is more so what I'm getting at here. You actually have to get into whatever narrative you're trying to pull here. Because if you're making a skit for your like show, because if it's not a review, then it's a skit. So treat it like a skit, like a show, and understand that that the story needs to progress with good pacing, or else people are just gonna be like, okay, yeah, whatever. Because the Angry Video Game Nerd was cool for his time, because nobody saw a game reviewer like him who had, at the time, a really good production value. Nowadays, it looks kind of, but at the time, he was a game reviewer that had a production value and had a charm to him. And his anger felt more warranted and more cartoony. You could look around it. Nowadays, if you're just angry, it's not enough. There needs to be more to it. Which is why I like ending this argument, coming back to suck Pan's dick. That's why I liked Pan, because he had... his appeal was less so in like angry reviews and stuff like that, because he had an art style to his reviews, and I looked at that and I was like, wow, that actually it's a character in and of itself, something you can latch onto and be like, that's what I like, and I can get behind this. Also, you're a goofy son of a bitch, and that's funny. So
that's me.
Yeah.
Gary Goof.
Pan's jokes don't always connect with me, but I can appreciate the more dry humor. Like it's not like the only time I was ever like, okay, Pan, you need to stop was the Breadwinner's angry review, but then that was just a variant. So like it was just there. Yeah, and I don't think.
But the good thing is,
Viacom
took that down.
Yeah,
I should re-upload that.
It's uploaded somewhere.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's in your playlist.
But I should upload it on my own channel so I get money.
Actually, you could upload it, but then unlist it because theirs already has all the ad like they already have the analytics to it. You could just put content ID, your audio, and then all they'll put ads in front of their video, and you would make the money.
Interesting.
It's a fun fact. A lot of the bigger YouTubers make like 50% of their income from people re-uploading their content and then having content ID.
Oh, that's fucking savage. Damn.
I mean, it's people re-uploading their content and potentially stealing their ad revenue.
No, I know, but still, that's pretty sick.
Dude, like, actually, Nolan, harkening back to when we were talking about reactionists on ThoughtCan, they should do that.
Yeah.
Because, like, reactionists will always steal other people's videos, so just content ID your review, and bam, money off of his, of their stolen work.
Let me talk about why I hate reactionists. Like, a reaction video is basically someone just sitting there and they play the video right in the corner of the video screen while you see them, and pretty much all they do is just like stare at the video, and maybe they'll laugh or say, "What the heck?" or that's about it. And
what the hell?
Well, the popular ones overreact.
Yeah, and maybe they'll start actually commenting at the very end once they played the entire video. But like, let's say, I mean, some of these reaction videos have like millions of followers, and it's like, I mean, they say that they're helping people get exposure, but oftentimes, one, they're doing videos that are already super popular. Two, if it's a lesser popular video, what reason does the fans of the reactionists have to go to that one video when they already saw the whole thing? Like, they're taking away their views.
Yeah,
especially with animators.
Oh my god, with animators, that's fucking brutal because they'll take so long making an animation.
Wait. Are you guys saying there's reaction videos to YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, because like I've only seen it for like TV shows where people are only watching, Steven Universe reacts because that's the easiest and cheapest way for them to, especially younger kids who don't know how to, watch cartoons online or torrent. It's a way for them to watch the show because besides, like you said, except for like a laugh or a comment here and there, it's a really easy way to like block out the other stuff around the video and just concentrate on that small corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, from a torrenting perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But besides stealing, they actually do this with just YouTubers. Like they'll take a PewDiePie video or a Markiplier video and just be like, "Oh man, so hey my niggas, I saw this crazy guy out there, and we're gonna watch his video." And then they just watch the entirety of the video and say nothing, and then they make $1 million. It's great. It's good. It's a good time.
Yeah.
That brings up a really interesting thing that I always want to talk about people, but I've never found anyone that gave a shit about YouTube enough to have the conversation. YouTube's an interesting platform because you can make a career out of being a fan of something.
Yay.
And what I mean by that is like you have these Pokemon channels like the Dex where it's literally them just talking about Pokemon. It's not their trademark, and it's not them creating anything new. They're literally just going and collecting information about a Pokemon and relaying that information to you. And in a way, they're almost leeching off of another franchise. And YouTube allows you to be, like Pan, you're talking about cartoons. I draw people's cartoons. YouTube isn't about original content. It never has been.
How dare you? What the fuck you say about my videos?
I compared us together, Pan.
I like how this is just ending with like, "You're a ripoff, Pan. You're sucking. You're leeching off other people.
If you're going down, I'm taking you with me."
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know, like those people who look up information about Pokemon, at least that takes effort since they're narrating and doing research of all these other Pokemon games and stuff.
7 facts about Pokemon.
I'm not saying the production values or anything like that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that a lot of these people, especially Let's Play, I mean, they literally are making content out of someone else's product, a video game.
But Let's Players, like, they actually commentate. They're not just staring and it's like, What the heck?
No. Again, I'm not saying anything against those. To clarify before I get like a rageful.
Oh yeah, I know. But I'm just like adding to what you're saying. Just like at least Let's Players actually do something instead of reactionists.
But reactionists might be the like ultimate like evolution of YouTube content
of leeches. I mean, okay, if you want to be a reactionist, like, why don't just talk about the video and maybe show a few clips here and there, but don't just play the entire thing of of another person's work. Because what reason does why would anyone want to search the video again if they already saw it on your little?
No, I agree with you.
I think it's what it is it's exactly what you're saying, dude. What is your name again, Stev?
It's Stev, yeah.
We never properly like introduced each other. Okay, you're Stev. All right, sweet. Hello.
Yeah, I'm Stev. I make art videos, and I'm jumping into review-oriented stuff in January.
Fantastic. But anyway, okay, Stev. Yeah, like you were saying before, it is like YouTube. I think it's like I think how it breaks down is like this. We first started with kind of the like angry video game nerd again. He made a sketch show where he happened to talk about video games. And then we had Let's Players. These are people who sit down and they play the video game almost to its entirety while they commentate over it. No longer is it a sketch anymore. Now we're just playing a video game and we talk about the video game as we're playing it, real time.
Yeah.
Now we got dudes sitting in a goddamn room just like watching somebody else play a video game. They're not even playing the video game anymore. They're watching somebody else play it. The next thing is just going to be there's no video at all. It's just going to be audio of a man watching someone else play a video game. And then after that, there'll be no audio.
I think that'll be an Andy Warhol video.
I almost made a cartoon. I never actually like went through with it. It was called The Evolution of Let's Play. And it was going to start out with a little kid. I was going to make it a girl and her older brother playing a video game and her being unable to beat a certain part. And then she hands the control over to her brother who beats it. And then it'll be in the future where she's now slightly older and she can't beat a part and she looks up like game facts. And then the next version would be her watching a YouTube video. And then finally it would be her no longer playing the game but watching someone else. And then the future was going to be her wearing virtual reality helmet and undressing Markiplier in a virtual world.
What the fuck?
Perfect. Why didn't you do that?
I don't know. I Go ahead.
I just said had to end with a dirty joke about Markiplier. I love it.
It's just I get cold feet when I like because animation takes a long time and like by the time I get done storyboarding I'm like this is no longer funny.
Yeah. That's the problem with every review. You get used to that.
Not review. I'm talking about actually animating.
A review and an animation. Like you just gotta I've been making this Undertale John Mulaney fucking thing for a couple months now, and I'm almost positive by the time I finally have it out, Undertale will no longer be relevant. But if for nothing else, I know, God forbid, but if for nothing else, I can put this animation on like a portfolio. Like if I give myself any greater reason, which only gives me a greater reason to make it good. Actually, wait, this is actually topical. So Pan, I made an animation of a silly thing that you said a very long time ago. And then I decided to apply for a college. Mm-hmm. And the college, specifically, it was a bachelor's degree in applied design. And that was minorly connected to animation. So I decided, hey, why don't I show them some of the animations that I have? At the time, though, I didn't have things like the animated GIF of Jim or anything really super good looking like nowadays. Nowadays, I'm a little bit more organized. So at the time, all I had was that fucking animation where you're clutching J.G. Quintel and saying you'll suck his dick.
Yeah.
And I wasn't accepted.
Oh.
So they didn't tell me it was because of the animation, though. They didn't even tell me why I wasn't accepted. So fucking, I don't know. Maybe that wasn't it, but I blame you.
Yeah, what he's trying to say is it's all your fault, man.
Oh, yeah, that's the end game, all right?
Of all the things he's chosen to animate.
That was the dumbest night ever. I was so tired. It was 4 a.m. and I was just fucking through a bunch of videos. and then one of them was just that rant. It made me laugh for too long that I finally was like, I haven't animated anything before. I'll animate that.
Oh, yeah. In the comic book Adventure Time review at the very end where it said, come on, I want to draw a cover for the regular show comic book. I'll suck your dick, please.
Come on, guys.
And that's what you fucking show to a college application.
And also in my portfolio was I had a lot of pretty decent drawings. Some were pretty meh, and I will never put them in portfolio again. One of which is I made also a sketch of Pan with no pants on, holding panties and being arrested by the police.
Why would you put that in there?
I had very little in my portfolio at the time.
How little? That was that's applicable.
That on top of that, I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know why I didn't think it was that bad, but
that reminds me of when I put my fan art in my portfolio because I didn't have anything either. That's all I drew at the time, and I was like, you know what, I can still get in.
Fucking Rebecca Sugar's drawn Ed, Edd n Eddy porno. Oh, yeah. So fucking I shouldn't feel guilt entirely.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with drawing fan art. That doesn't when you get hired on to a TV show or something, they're looking for your ability to draw, and that's fine. That illustrates what you're drawing
and other art styles.
Mm-hmm. But the issue is that you have to be very selective about what the content is, not of what it. Obviously, if you draw nothing but dicks, they're probably gonna be like, they'll probably first off keep that portfolio, and then bring it up because they do every terrible demo reel or portfolio they get. There's a special folder for it, and there is times where they'll get drunk and they are going to look through them.
What?
Oh yeah, it happened.
That sounds fucking amazing.
Wow. What a bunch of assholes.
Oh my God. This reminds me, when I went to Frederator in New York, we were talking about my channel, and they were just thinking, what are the first things that come up when we look up RebelTaxi, and they just see my art and stuff, but they saw someone's fan art of Wavebird and her ass exposed, bent over and stuff, and they say, is this yours? And I was like, no.
You bet. We can put that on a RebelTaxi poster.
Oh man, that was somewhat awkward. They didn't do it to make fun of me. Well, they did it mainly to make fun of me. It was not a serious thing.
Like how they went out of their way to make fun of you at this meeting.
Look at this fucking loser, fucking piece of shit.
You piece of shit.
I had because I also teach, by the way, because obviously doing internet animation is not the most profitable thing, especially for YouTubers. They don't like paying.
Yeah. Ain't making no money doing it for myself, you hear?
So shout out to Gerard the Completionist. He is the first person I've talked to that went above and beyond what he went. I'm like, you do realize you're not going to make this money back. not with how YouTube works. He goes, I know, man. I just want it to be good.
He invested a lot in it, or
yeah. He's the first person to actually pay me standard wage for animation for a YouTube video, which is pretty impressive.
How much would standard wage be? I mean, I know it kind of depends on how long you worked on it, but
generally, I've heard the rule of thumb is you can for Flash animation, before we had all these kids on Newgrounds that don't know anything. The problem with animation right now is that I could go, hey, I can give you this quality animation, but I want 1,000 per minute, which is roughly 1,000 to 2,000 is what it was 10 years ago. And that's shitty Flash animation from the old school web,
Yeah.
But now we have so many kids who don't know what to charge. They'll be like, well, I could pay you 1,000 for a minute, but there's also another guy I could pay. He's offering me 300 for a minute. And then there's also another guy offering even less. And it's that's cool. You get what you pay for sometimes. Sometimes you get a really good quality because people are just really don't know what they're worth. So that's the hardest part about freelance animation at the moment is that it's so easy to get undercut that it's really easy to accept doing a lot of work for very little.
Damn.
Yeah.
Animation sounds really fucking unforgiving.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, also to clarify, Yo Mama also pays me really well too. Like for because I'm only doing like roughly 20 seconds worth of animation per video or so, and a lot of it's like tweened or reusing assets. So like what they pay me is really, really generous. So I appreciate them. Just shout out to them. Oh, there was someone in the comments last time I was on here said, "You animate for Yo Mama. Your opinions are invalid."
Ooh.
I love those comments.
Hey, buddy.
First
I
off,
no longer have respect for you.
First off, whoever that was, what TV show are you animating for?
Damn straight.
Oh.
And second of all, I've also animated for a Netflix series, a Grammy-nominated band, a bunch of other stuff. So just because you don't like one show that I worked on, I don't understand how you think people are supposed to be so fucking perfect.
Well, it's like you work for what works, It's like you just pick up whatever job is offering and paying well, and then,
I just love how people are fucking like, oh, you did this? You trying to make a fucking living? What the fuck, bro? God, it's almost like you can't get like really good jobs right off the fucking bat. It's just like...
And if it isn't obvious by now, animation is a very unforgiving job to work freelance-wise. So getting a studio job, even if it might be short-term, is pretty smart.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been working with Yo Mama for 3 years, I've had I'm basically on salary, which is great. There's some weeks where I get nothing to do because they just don't have it. But they keep me on board, and there's some weeks it sucks where they give me way too much work and I'm drowning in it. But that makes up for the times that I don't have anything. It's a give or take. But to know that I'm going to get so much money every month doing animation of all things, yeah, okay, sure. Maybe the fact that I just animated an over 9,000 joke, yeah, it kills my soul a little bit. But I also get to eat.
There does come a point where it's like, like you're not being a stripper or anything like that. It's not like the worst job in the world. It's stupid sometimes to be like,
what's wrong with a stripper job?
Yeah.
Look, Pan.
Let appreciate.
Pan.
All right, I'm not shaming Nolan here for his career choice.
What
all right.
I do.
But it's out of all things, to animate for like a dorky cartoon, that's that's not as bad as you really would think it'd be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
I do draw loot stuff as my side job. So my regular job is just being a fast food worker. I won't say where because I don't want to get doxxed, but or risk that at any rate. But I'm very much a take what I can get type person too. So I usually am very I can't think. Is it judicious? Judicious? I don't fucking know. But I don't think Jewish for the work they have to do to make a living, unless it's like I'm a hitman, then I'm like, okay, buddy, might want to think that over.
Well, also, put in perspective this. Thanks to working with Yo Mama's crew, first off, I learned how to animate through Animeme, even that's the lowest brow of comedy, and it's nothing to really write home about. At least all my terrible animation that I started out with wasn't on my own channel. But the second thing is working with a team. I work with Red Minus, and there's voice actor stuff. I have a pipeline which conditioned me to work on a studio project. Optimus Prime transforming with someone in blood, wiping off the windshield wipers of the chest. Maybe not the best thing to put in your demo reel, but it was paid work that got on my demo reel that got me the job working on a Netflix show that has Mark Hamill and David Keith voicing it.
Networking, basically.
Yeah.
Networking is super important.
So, sure, let's talk shit about Yo Mama and how awful it is, but it's opened up possibilities.
Are you sure you want to just say all this on the podcast?
No, they know I don't mind. They know they know my feelings towards it. It's like this. Rice Pirate. You familiar with him?
No.
Yep.
Of course.
He does a lot of voices in Animeme. He did a lot of voices in Yo Mama. He's a professional voice actor. He actually had voices in Yu-Gi-Oh. And
I did not know this.
Yeah. I believe that was him. But anyways, my point was he made a statement because like some of the other animators are like, oh, you're people are like, oh, you work on your mama. That's awful. But it's like, yeah, but my friends don't like the show, but they understand that I'm getting paid for it and it's a job. Like they respect that I'm making money. They might not respect the content, but it's one of those things where you do it and then you just don't expect people to like it. It's fine. You're not the target demographic. And that's okay. You can have TV shows for people who aren't you.
And now, by the end of this, I finally decided to look up what Yo Mama is. Yes, I have seen this show before. Okay.
Yay.
And is this made by the same, or at least conceived by the same team that made Animeme?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Because it totally looks like the same thing.
So,
and was Animeme conceived by Red Minus? Because that just looks like Red Minus.
No. Okay. So like a lot of people have the misconception that the animator is I have people coming to my channel being like, bring back Animeme or something. And I'm just like, I'm just a paid contractor. Like there's people with money. They want to make more money by creating shows that will be watched by people. And then they pay me the money to make the content and they do make the decisions, That's the relationship. Go talk to Alex and Zach if you want more Animeme. But I have no control. And so like a lot of people they think Yo Mama while Red Minus designed is the art director and all that for Yo Mama, it wasn't his baby. It was work together. It was brainchild between two people. And then we get the fun little thing where they get to be in articles and such about how they created all this stuff, and then they might remember to mention my name.
Oh, yeah.
There was one time I worked on Christmas for them because one of the animators turned in something.
I remember the story.
I think I already told it on the podcast. Never mind.
No, you told me privately.
And so what happened was I worked with him, reanimated a scene during Christmas, Christmas Eve to Christmas. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. All right, we got it done. And, he said he made praises in private. But then, he was on a live stream the next day, one of the creators, and he was talking about, oh, so you were working on Christmas? Yeah, got to get these videos done. And I was like, did you do it by yourself? Oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah. I just wanted that little, oh, yeah, me and Stev did it.
Yeah.
No one would have looked me up. No one would have cared. But just that little.
I totally understand how you feel.
One shot, one opportunity.
Oh. So, you all want to get into the questions?
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is
Yeah.
Okay, questions. If anybody has a question, be sure to start out with the word question so it's easier to find. So the first question is from the Chill Yoshi 64. Question: what was the cringiest line ever in a school assembly that you attended? Mine was during an anti-bullying assembly where the superintendent said that her son was bullied for what she described him as a combination of Leonard and Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. Most of us in the assembly exclaimed, "Fucker deserved it."
Oh.
Ooh. Anyway.
Well, I got I have one.
Okay.
Go for it.
It's not an assembly, but my friend came up to me and said this was the funniest shit ever, but I thought it was really tragic.
Oh.
This guy got, apparently he got some shit talked to him because he had Tourette's. And so he thought that he would go into school, and maybe this is going to be more sad and not so funny, but anyways, he goes into school and he starts he asks the teacher, hey, can I explain what Tourette's is? And then he basically tells everyone his whole deal. He's got Tourette's, and then he's like, yeah, this and that. yeah, so that's my problem. You know, I'm not an asshole. I just have Tourette's. And then some kid stands up in classroom and is like, I don't hate you because you have Tourette's. I hate you because you're an asshole.
Oh.
It's like, oh.
I bought your Colgate toothpaste, the one with tartar control, and it made me feel like a piece of shit.
But then he went on to get like a bachelor's in business, and
I recently went to an event, and there's a guy, speaking of cringy and both that kind of area, there was a guy that like isn't self-aware. There's obviously something a little off about him, and he's kind of really loud, and if you're trying to like, he'll play YouTube videos really loud while you guys are interacting. It's like an artist meetup. And like he'll just interrupt you while you're talking to someone else. And so like he's already kind of like grinding my gears. And then he like came to me and he hits me on the stomach. He like bump and he goes, "So, do you exercise?"
Wow.
And I'm just like, "No."
What?
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
What the fuck?
Fun.
I just dropped what I was holding and walked away. Because like I said, there's definitely something like everyone's like just leave him alone, man. He's he doesn't work on the same wavelength as the rest of us. And like I don't know what to do in that situation. Like I want to tear him apart, but that'd be culturally insensitive. He just insulted me.
Culturally insensitive.
Like PC, like Tumblr, like you can't. Like I would be crucified. I would have to move to another city.
But if you're crucified, you'd be dying for our sins.
Literally.
I do, like, I know what you meant by that, but that was the funniest description of political correctness. It's like, PC, Tumblr, can't be kicked out of the country. You know what I'm talking about. Tumblr, PC.
Yeah,
Girls online, they're insulted. Cis scum, Tumblr, PC.
I guess in his mind, he thought that was an appropriate thing to say. And like he apologized afterwards after the group kind of scolded him and was just like, "Hey man, you can't just walk up to someone and fucking insult their weight."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This reminds me, my friend in like the first year of college had had this really awkward encounter. I don't know if I told this already, but like something, I don't know. He was just sitting in like the student union and in like some table, and some other guy comes up to him and then starts making awkward conversation, and my friend wasn't really into it right now. And eventually that random stranger just puts his own random stranger puts his own hand on my friend's belly, and he says, "I like your belly." and my friend just walked away awkwardly, just didn't know what to do, just walked away.
I like your belly. That is just breaking. It's like, what the fuck do you say?
Okay, I taught myself on cringiest thing that made me remember. There was a student before who had a pregnancy fetish.
What? Great. I love the story already.
Great stuff.
And would look up he wouldn't go to like actual porn sites because they were blocked, but he would go up to like Deviant Art and look at some of the fetish photography with pregnant women at school. And so like it became really well known that he was into this. And like I just remember like one of the people that was pregnant during like this time there was like, "Oh God, that's why he wanted to touch my stomach."
Oh, it's like the ending to fucking what is it? The Usual Suspect, where fucking you drop the coffee cup and you're like, "Oh my God, I figured it out. I cracked the code."
Zooms into his ear and like does the Jimmy Neutron brain blast.
Brain blast.
And then when it zooms back out, all he does is he clutches his stomach. Like,
oh God, got her.
He liked my tummy. No, but I got, this isn't exactly cringy. It was just really confusing as a child. One time there was this irritating kid. I can't even remember his name. I think it was like Steven or something awful like that. Fuck you, Steve. But this guy walked up and like he was always kind of annoying. He was a little weird. Like he would steal the ball when we were playing soccer, and by that I mean he would run onto the sand field and steal the ball and then run somewhere else. And one time he walked up to me and he was like, hey Hayden, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm fine. I guess I'm fine. How are you? And we were elementary kids, you know, 2nd grade. And he said like, hey Hayden, look up there. And I just look up and then he just punches me in the dick. And just runs away.
Yeah.
It was so basic. It's just like, hey, look up. And like an idiot, I look up and then he punches me in the dick. It's like, well, what? I guess what did I think would happen?
I don't know.
Of course, you're the one fucking laughing at this, man. It sounds like something you would fucking do to somebody.
I guess. Well, I wouldn't hurt someone. I don't know. They could sue me or something. Yeah.
No, I love how you say I wouldn't hurt anybody, and the first thing you jump to is they could sue me.
Yeah. Well,
that's your primary concern.
You know.
That's the only reason. You know, I might go to jail for a little bit.
Let me guess. You're gonna pound my face, break every bone in my body, then you're gonna drag me across the gravel road and feed my remains to a warthog. Is that about right?
What are you, nuts? This is the 90s. We're gonna sue you.
But any other cringe stories?
No, this one isn't. This one won't top any of the ones that have been listed here. But I just feel like it just kind of is ominous to me. So I'm gonna mention it. There was this girl who was friends with my friends, and I mean I was and she was also kind of she had mental afflictions, I guess, and it was just, I was just like, okay, I mean, I can tolerate it, whatever. And then one day she's just kind of like staring at me while I'm talking with my friends, and I'm like, is something wrong? And she just goes, I worry about you. And I'm like, okay.
I feel the same way, lady. I worry about you too.
No, yeah, that's the thing though. It's just like knowing me now, I'm like, wow, I kind of understand.
Oh.
I laughed way too hard about that. I apologize. But
Okay.
Well, it's great because like I've seen TV shows do it where it's like, oh man, that guy's fucked up, and then like the guy, like from their perspective, you're the one that's the weirdo. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh yeah. So on to the next question. Let's see. Okay, here's an animation question. Slim Pony Ranger question: why are most cartoon characters depicted to only have 4 fingers?
There's some reason, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, the reason I wanted to bring this up is I noticed like a lot of cartoons like on Cartoon Network now are just have characters with 5 fingers. Like I don't know when 5 fingers started becoming trendy with cartoons.
I'm not really sure. I think the 4-finger thing happened because it was just like easier to proportion the fingers.
Yeah, I mean
it was like aesthetically, like it was aesthetically pleasing. And then somewhere between like 1990s and now, someone's like, "Fuck that, anatomy."
Yeah, I don't know why 5 fingers is now a thing on Cartoon Network. Like I think the earliest show that I remember from Cartoon Network having 5 fingers was Kids Next Door. Since if you notice in the intro, they always had to show their numbers with their hands, so obviously they needed 5 fingers, and that was the only reason why. But
when they got enormous fucking hands
and enormous fucking feet, they were like Sonic characters.
I remembered I got for Christmas, I think the best Christmas of my childhood, I got a collection of like all the Kids Next Door, all the main cast at least, and the first thing that caught my eye is they had big fucking feet, because I remembered picking them up and they were really heavy. And I was like, why are they so heavy? And I just noticed the feet and the hands were both super filled. Like it wasn't a hollow doll or anything. So the hands and feet were super heavy.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So Kids Next Door, one thing that like I just went, like it connected to me was Pepper Ann and Kids Next Door almost have like the same art style.
Oh yeah,
that's because Tom Warburton worked on both of them.
Yeah, now I realize that, but like before it was like they both have like the same like way that they have like clothing hang off the stomachs.
Mm-hmm.
Is he identical?
I mean, the creator of Kids Next Door, he works as a character designer on Pepper Ann. He didn't create Pepper Ann. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why Five Fingers is now a thing. Like even a simplistic looking show like Clarence or Teen Titans Go, they have 5 fingers.
Like, I actually wonder how much does like a character designer get paid? Does he just design the characters and then he's just paid for that one commission job and then he goes off to work on something else, or?
I'm sure they stick around for other.
I mean, I guess
characters.
I guess I ask because, like, you know, it's obvious that like animators get paid consistently because they work on each episode, but a character designer would only design the characters, and then other people would just mimic that design.
Kind of. I mean, like, I think usually, for the most part, I think like art director is probably an actual title. And then if it's a show that has a lot of characters like Young Justice or like Teen Titans Go, you could easily have an episode without new characters, but you could also have an episode with a lot of new characters versus like Young Justice, where there is at least 100 characters background, you know, added each time. So I think it's so I think it really depends on the show and what their budget is. They might freelance all of it. They might have people on board the entire time. If it's a smaller studio or smaller like group of people on it, it might be like, you know, 5 people and they have multiple roles. But additionally, a lot of times character designers is like skipped out per se. Like board driven shows sometimes have the board artist is the one that creates the character, and then they also have someone that clean up those characters. So like the prop designer / character designer would like clean up those and create the model sheets for the Korean studios. I know that when I was going to work on Wabbit, which I didn't get a chance to, it was a weekend gig for one episode for one prop from different angles.
Okay, so that's how it works. Like they kind of storyboard it, and then there's the rough character, and then they clean it up with a model sheet, and then send it over to the animators. Oh, that's fascinating. I kind of that's kind of been on the back of my mind for a long time. Like I haven't thought about it, but I was like, how do they do that? And now I know. So that's really cool.
And I guess one thing I definitely didn't consider is backgrounds need like background characters, especially for things like Young Justice, where they're like in cities and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many background characters there are in a show. Like someone has to design all that.
Yeah, I mean, someone somewhere drew those background characters at some point. I guess I sort of just assumed it was a storyboard artist who just drew up something based on the already made art style.
I mean, every little object you see, like a character picking up or something, that has to be designed.
Yeah.
But I think
animation, like when you
go ahead.
When you kind of take a step back on animation, it's so involved.
Yeah.
It's like if the background's moving, who drew that? Because that was a person that had to spend probably several hours, if not maybe a couple days, animating some background movement that was so small you almost could have missed it. Jeez, yeah, there's a lot.
But I think about CG animated cartoons, like let's say the new 2012 Ninja Turtles cartoon series. Like you notice like the city is always desolate and it's always at nighttime.
I'm glad you brought that up because as soon as you said the show, I was like, that I'm bringing that up. That needs to be talked about.
Having to design everything in 3D, that takes a lot of time. So that's why you see so few people or hardly any cars in the background of that show.
But the problem with that though is that 3D shows, it's like because not like 2D shows. You could have the same shot and there wouldn't be any background characters in it either. A lot of times. Especially like the old Ninja Turtles, like if you compare them. But the old Ninja Turtles doesn't seem as hollow, and it might be the fact that there's not that extra 3D space that really shows that it's empty. At least that's my theory on it. But I noticed that's the biggest problem with CG shows is that they never populate the background. It's always like a bare wasteland of nothingness.
That was one of my problems that I had with Sonic Boom. The show was there was a lot of times where, I mean, Sonic Boom I think does a bit of a better job, and they have an excuse because they build like forests and stuff. But I feel like sometimes in the backgrounds to Sonic Boom, it does also definitely feel very desolate, very empty, and like I just wish there was just a little more like density to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more excusable there since they're on an island in forest.
Yeah. It was just something that caught my eye when I was first getting into the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, like, I don't know, that always bugs me about a lot of video games now. Like, I mean, you know the new Final Fantasy VII that's coming out, an HD remake of Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Well, I remember years ago reading something that they wanted to try making Final Fantasy VII HD for PlayStation 3, but they said it would take too long. In 1997, when that game came out, I assume. I mean, you can just make a few polygons and make that into a shape, and you know that represents something. But now, when you have to make everything realistic, that's going to take time on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of worried about how video games might be too detailed now.
Here's some interesting things about that. First off, the reason why the Final Fantasy VII game, the remake, is being done episodically was it was the only way for them to not only make back their money, because the cost of making a video game has increased so much that if they released the entire 3-disc from the original game as one game at $60, they would never make back their profit. And the thing is, a lot of people complain that, like, I for one, I rarely buy games new because $60 for a new game is really expensive. Like, I can't afford that, you know. Obviously, there's a big title like Smash Brothers or something that I really want. I support it day one, but a lot of times I wait for games to go cheaper. But if you really look at inflation and how things go and how big these budgets for games, it's shocking that movies and video games have not went up in price comparatively. Like, if you count inflation, because keep in mind, games have been $60 since like Super Nintendo.
Well,
and
for the PS2 GameCube era, I think they were $50. I think. Do I remember correctly?
$50 to $60 relatively, but like it's been that price for a long time. And if you increase inflation, a $60 game back then would be about $100 now.
I was looking at old magazine scans for like Sears catalogs for like Super Nintendo games, and like some of the games were like $80, $90, like Donkey Kong Country.
Because of the technology that was in them, like the Super FX chip made it.
But now we have discs, so that's, I don't know, much more cost effective.
You're right. Games are getting a little too ridiculous for how much money has to go in to make them good. And that's the reason why you see so much DLC and focus on additional content. It's because they're not actually making back their money from the main install base. You could probably argue that that's probably more of the industry's fault for adding extra money into it. And they should be refocusing on what they're spending their money to keep the games cost effective. But then, I mean, graphics and how pretty the game is the only thing gamers care about, quote unquote. Obviously, we want good gameplay, but
in marketing theory, that seems to be the case. You know, it just seems what everyone's talking about.
The new Star Wars Battlefront for EA only has 4 levels, but the levels look freaking amazing. And it's like, well, these are the best graphics ever, but there's 4 levels.
I remembered was this fucking tweet from Square Enix, and they're like, location hunting today. Look at this fucking boulder. Isn't it a great boulder? We're going to put it in the game. And it's just them taking pictures of a fucking boulder and then rendering it in 3D and trying to make it look like the best damn boulder. And then you just kind of realize, you know, I think there needs to be some prioritizing here.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
Okay, I was trying to avoid that, but thanks to you, asshole.
I mean, but otherwise, if they don't make that boulder look like the best boulder ever, you're going to look at that as like, wow, those textures are pretty shitty. What a half-ass game.
Even I did it. I was playing Yoshi Woolly World, and like in the main area, they kind of like zoom in a little bit because of the story, and you see how shitty the texture on like this yarn ball is. It looks like an N64, just flat surface. It's not 3D modeled, and it looks great from above. But like the cameras moved down just a little bit to ruin the effect, and like that hurt me, you know. Like physically, I'm just like, not physically, but you know, like I focused on that imperfection. So the thing is,
I feel like though we do it to ourselves. Like we complain about how oh, we're wasting so much time, we're not prioritizing, and we're focusing too much on graphics when they don't matter. But then in game reviews, people will say like, well, these graphics are fantastic, or well, these graphics are just awful, and then that suddenly makes it a priority, and like a studio will look at that and be like, well, clearly this matters to gamers, and if it matters to them, then that matters to marketing, so we have to focus in on that because now that's part of the priority.
Well, look at Wind Waker. Wind Waker is a really good Zelda game. It might be easier than most, but like there's a lot of little tiny details that they got to focus on because they weren't spending so much time on modeling. They were able to like have Link look around and have expressive faces, and like that was really cool. If there's a key item that you're supposed to focus on, you could actually move the camera and Link would be looking at it as a hint, which is the coolest way of basically helping the player find something in a video game I've ever heard of. And it's really subtle because it's just his eyes looking. It's not like his whole head like pointing at it. And the little animations are really good. They spent a lot of time on making it quirky and personable, and because they weren't spending so much time modeling it. But everyone screamed and hollered and whined about how terrible Wind Waker was at the time. Now it's the perfect game according to people.
Oh yeah.
But like at the time, it's like, this isn't the realistic Zelda I want. And it's like, because people don't know how to tell the difference between a lot of detail and what is good art design.
Well, anything different will make everyone panic for a while, but eventually they'll grow to like it, hopefully. But there was adding to the controversy around Wind Waker at the time is when they were releasing the GameCube for the first time, they showed like footage of like what the GameCube is capable of, and there was this footage of Link fighting Ganon in like an updated Ocarina of Time style, like a semi-realistic style, and people were expecting that's going to be the next Zelda game, but it turned out to be Wind Waker.
That was unrelated to Wind Waker at all, or any Zelda game production, because what they do is when the game...
Demo.
Yeah, it was a tech demo. People are going to think, oh, that's what the next Zelda game is going to look like.
Yeah, well, people don't think.
Yeah, like that Wii U tech demo for Zelda. They did the same fucking thing again, where they were like, okay, guys, here's the Zelda on the Wii U, and it's just him fighting a generic spider enemy. And then you see the open world Zelda annoying. Oh, I'm sorry, they don't like open world. They don't like the terminology. But they showed the new game, and it looks like a mix between Twilight Princess and Wind Waker and Skyward Sword. And everybody's just like, oh, okay, well, I guess we have this then.
Yeah.
Hey,
remember when people actually thought it was going to come out this year? That was really funny.
No.
Hey, at least we have 20 seconds of footage from that game. That Game Explain can make a 20-minute video talking about it.
Oh, that fucking that horseback gameplay did look kind of fun though. I haven't played a Zelda game, so I might as well just make this one my first.
To be honest, I'm hopeful for that game because I think it looks fucking cool. They changed a lot.
We haven't seen anything of it though. We've seen one little part where he pulls out a cyberpunk bow and arrow thing.
No, they released minor gameplay videos before.
I've only seen like 10 seconds of footage.
They've shown like minimalistic stuff. I'll admit, it's not a lot to go on, but it's enough to get me kind of more so interested in this than any other Zelda game that seems to be coming out lately. Skyward Sword, their whole marketing was motion controls, and look at all this cool stuff we can do with motion controls. But now, on the Wii U, a vast majority of the gimmicks just have to do with, like, touchscreen, and that's less obnoxious than the Wiimote. So that gives me just a little more hope that this isn't, at the very least, going to be a super obnoxious Legend of Zelda rendition, that maybe they'll actually focus a bit more on the adventure itself, the game itself,
rather than
kind of trying to push for a gimmick.
How'd you feel about that?
Link Between Worlds was good. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that one.
I haven't played, like I said, I haven't played any, but Link Between Worlds I heard was super, super good, so I might... I want to say I'll pick it up when it's discounted, but it's Nintendo, so...
Yeah.
Well, what I love about Link Between Worlds is that it kind of had a bit of a gimmick, fine, you could say that, but it wasn't a gimmick specific to the 3DS.
It wasn't like a peripheral gimmick. It was
it was not at all, and it wasn't a 3D gimmick really either. I mean, you could argue they had set pieces that work better with 3D, but I never played the game in 3D, and the game was just as good. So but what I'm thinking about mostly is the paint gimmick, where you could slap yourself into the wall. But what I liked about that is that could function in any game. You could play that on the Xbox and it would be good. You know, so it's not like with Wind Waker where they tried so hard to make this like Wii Motion.
You talking about Skyward Sword?
Wait, what did I say?
Wind Waker.
Fuck. Yeah, Wind Waker's good too, because again, it's a game that could have existed on any platform. It didn't matter about the gimmick. It mattered that they made a function in the game that was fun.
Well, are you particularly against motion controls? Or...
It's not exactly motion controls. It's the fact that, like...
the game is so focused on the motion controls.
It felt like it was focused so hard on this gimmick that it didn't focus on just making a game.
Right. Well, for example, the latest Kirby game, I want it so bad because visually it's really, really cool. Everything looks like it's stop motion Play-Doh. That sounds so good. But then I found out that it's the draw a line and Kirby follows it type of game that was on the DS, and I don't like that gameplay. I just don't find it fun. But if it was like just a regular Kirby game with that aesthetic, I would have been so happy.
Yeah. That's what so happy.
Yeah, who asked for a Canvas Curse sequel? Here's the answer. Fucking nobody.
I want that like I want a Crystal Chronicles sequel.
I want a Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood sequel.
Oh my god, I played Crystal Chronicles once. I remember this. I mean, like, you didn't have... you couldn't just hooked up your GameCube controllers. Everybody had to bring their own Game Boy Advances and also a cable to attach it to the GameCube, and that's how you played. It wasn't exactly a cost-effective game.
And it's shit like that. That just kills me. It's just make a game.
It was like a kind of like a precursor to the Wii U in a way.
Yeah, and it felt very unintuitive, and it made me just completely not want to play the game. I had the same thing with Four Swords Adventure, because to my memory now, that required the one for the GameCube. That one required like Game Boy Advances in order to play, like in order to have like a second player. Which
I think that's actually the lowest selling Zelda game ever, besides the CDI ones.
Oh, shoot. Dang.
That's what I've heard.
It was really kind of strange because it felt like a Game Boy game, but I was playing it on a GameCube.
Oh, yeah. Well, 2D graphics at the time were like, I don't know, like we kind of like abandoned 2D graphics, and then Alien Hominid came around and started bringing back retro games.
Yeah. I do like the 2D comeback. I prefer it best in like, vector art, like Rayman Legends and Origins and stuff like that.
I'm more of I guess it depends on the game. Like, I'm a really big fan of pixels.
Yeah.
Well, I loved Undertale and shit like that, so it can vary. Just I feel with vector art though, you can give yourself a little more artistic room to draw whatever kind of image that you want, just so long as it can fit in the boundaries of vector animation.
Yeah.
But with pixel art, it is I feel a little limited because it is inherently minimalistic.
Yeah.
I mean,
2 pixels.
I would like to see someone try doing a PlayStation 1 style low poly 3D objects for a game.
Me too.
I love that art style. Okay, so like Digimon World, I'm a really big fan of it. And I love how they like minimalistically make these models where like the wings is just one texture, flat. It's so cool.
I mean, I like the someone should do the style of like Mega Man Legends. I love that style because like their faces, like they don't really have mouths. It's just drawn on like how they're animated, and I just like that style to it.
Oh, you mean like the that it was a 3D one, right?
Yeah,
a 3D Mega Man.
Mega Man Legends, the RPG.
Yes,
which
that looked great.
If you play that now, it does not hold up.
It's kind of choppy. I feel though that version of 3D modeling does have a charm to it. I faintly discussed this in that video that I'm making now. But yeah, PlayStation 1 graphics and N64, kind of that very early era of modeling where it wasn't quite it wasn't quite absolutely awful, but it wasn't quite perfection yet. But it had like a charm to it,
Yeah.
Like kind of what we were talking about earlier about Final Fantasy. We didn't really draw a realistic looking body. We just drew something that looks kind of close to it, and we knew it, but it worked. It had a style to it.
Like, I think a really good example of this is Rare. Rare did a really good job at like making something out of very little. Like I really want a Banjo-Kazooie paper craft thing. I don't know how to make those. Like I don't know. But like I always hint, like especially when I first started YouTube, and I was like, oh, he's got a PO box. Does anyone want to make Banjo-Kazooie papercraft? but I because I think the CG models, like I almost like want a 3D print one. But I think the models are really, really cool.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. I think that Rare was so fucking smart with their modeling of all these characters, because the N64 was polygonal and it was very minimalistic. They didn't want shit coming out like Hybrid Heaven because that was terrifying. But so you had things look cartoony and kind of simple and basic, but you got the general idea of what you're looking at, you know?
Yeah.
Like Banjo's nose was never round. It was a bunch of blocks, but it looked round enough that you could buy it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of low poly stuff, you know what kind of game I'd like to see? Fucking Sonic the Fighters, like the graphics like that.
Yeah.
The lowest poly possible.
I mean, if people can accept 8-bit art, like I think we can accept low poly 3D art.
Yeah, I feel like it gets too much shit right now. I think it should have some kind of comeback, or at least some sort of
people love Katamari Damacy and Minecraft, and they kind of have a little bit of that style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I mean, Minecraft, honestly, Minecraft, looking back at it, it's just like, oh, there's this game. It's going to be made out of just basically 3D pixels. It's going to be, everything's going to be really square and horribly made and pixely. And then people are like, yeah, that's what I want.
I don't know if Notch specifically said it's going to look horrible. Let's do it. And then everyone's like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Well, I mean, like how minimalistic the game is. They could easily throw in like, because you see all those like Minecraft animated where they add like actual 3D like lighting and like blurs and such. You could do that. You could actually make Minecraft look really, really nice, even what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Well, I think they leave that up to the modders, you know, for people to make like.
Yeah. Just leave it up to the fans to do the work for the people who make the game. Good idea. I like
It's not exactly fair. I think it's because it's like we're so far into Minecraft now that there's people that prefer no lighting and some people that prefer like, you know, it not change. So if they were to come out with like dynamic lighting and stuff and have that implemented into the game, I think the amount of people that would be pleased with it would be side by side with the amount of people that would absolutely hate it.
This isn't Minecraft original.
I was there at the beta. That makes me the greatest.
So something really cool about Minecraft, because keep in mind I've never actually played it, but I saw a video that they apparently teamed up with like a phone company, and so you can actually build a phone within the game and Skype with people.
That's amazing.
Through the game.
Wow.
I did not know this.
Yeah, like you have to be like super zoomed out because each pixel is a block in Minecraft, and it basically just renders out your webcam footage for someone, and then like it makes a really shitty like old school GIF looking version of it, and it's like on par. It's like 1-for-1 there, and then what the person sees who's Skyping with you, they see your actual Minecraft avatar as if it's in the game.
That reminds me, like, God. I think in EverQuest, like that old, and also RuneScape, maybe those 2000s era MMORPGs. I think you could actually
excuse me. Did you call it RuneScape?
RuneScape? I don't know.
RuneScape.
Even I know that.
One of those games. You could actually.
I'm sorry, it's very dear to my heart.
I didn't play that crap.
RuneScape.
I saw how shitty the graphics were, and I'm like, fuck this. But like, I remember you could like order pizza within the game.
Oh wow!
Like from Pizza Hut, like there was a special deal for like some of these MMOs ordering pizza. Just type in /pizza, and you get like a menu from like Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm. And you got a big pan pizza boner.
Fuck yeah!
You're just like
me.
Gotta get the.
You know what I miss? Okay, so let's combine the topic of pizza and old school PlayStation games. Remember when you got demos from Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
That's how I learned about Crash Bandicoot.
I mean, it was not only just demos, it was essentially a PlayStation magazine, and it was all these like interviews or behind the scenes stuff and all these cool features.
I remember I got a video game from a box of shoes.
What?
That sentence is actually kind of messy. I bought some shoes, and with the shoes, I got a video game.
What was the game?
It was, it had something to do with Jordans.
Like
something basket.
Was it like some CD, some crappy CD that just you put into your computer and you play some
it was
crappy
like,
Flash?
I believe it was some kind of like, it was some kind of like PC game about like, Air Jordans.
Yeah, a lot of companies were doing that, just dropping in CDs to their like cereal boxes or whatever. Like, hey, buy our shitty toy, like a Tech dude, and you get this crappy Tony Hawk knockoff game. Like, I need to find that game. It was a Tech dude, right? It was just these these chicken nuggets riding
kind of did look like chicken nuggets.
And I remember one of the commercials, they said, hey, buy one of these things and there's a video game inside, and like, ooh, it's like Tony Hawk, I need that, but I could never find it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now if you have a P.O. box, you're gonna get like 15 of them.
It's probably a shitty game. It doesn't even work on current computers.
Oh, that's the worst. I bought Roller Coaster Tycoon on Steam, and I've yet to actually get it to work.
Oh, yeah. I fucking love Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I do too. That's the reason why I bought it. But like, I would argue and complain, but because of my work schedule, I will buy a game, and then it literally took me a year to actually try to play it. So I feel like I can't get my money back.
Just get it on GOG.
GOG?
What's GOG?
GOG,
Games. They have it's on there for like $10.
I have to buy it again.
Fuck it, I'll buy it for you.
Oh, fuck it, $10. I don't know your living
Morty
situation.
Gumba's fucking asshole.
I have student loans, man.
I don't care if you have student loans. Buy this old video game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The ultimate convincing. Just shut up, man.
But going back to games being so expensive, like, I just want to compare it to movies. Like, I mean, with movies, like, you release a movie, like, it makes money in the theater, it makes money on streaming and DVDs, and it'll replay on TV, and they get money from that, and all
merchandise.
But
merchandise.
But with video games, it's like it's in the store, and that's it. That's the only way to make money. It's in the store.
Unless you're Nintendo, and then you can re-release the game after like 5 years and keep it full price.
Oh yeah, but like you still have to convert it to new consoles and whatever, and that costs money.
I don't know. How do you guys feel about Kickstarters and Indiegogos at this point?
I mean,
I clutch on to things like Shovel Knight, and like, well, that works. So, I don't know. But I do feel like a lot of them kind of. I've heard many stories of like, someone sets up a Kickstarter and then the guy takes all that money and then nothing happens.
Well, yeah, like Yogscast apparently earlier this year, they announced that this $3 million game that they got funded through Kickstarter got canceled.
And what they got in return?
Oh, they sent everyone codes to a friend's game or something. Because they're not going to send back the money. I mean, what would you do in that situation? Because they probably already spent a couple, like half of it on the game and realized it wasn't going to, it was going to cost more and they can't afford it. So I guess they just pocket the rest. Like, what do you do in that situation?
I mean, these Kickstarters...
I'd almost say, like, give back as much as you can, but yeah, it's a messy situation when you've spent half of it. Like, what do you say to the other half?
Well, like,
sorry, I guess.
Donate to something or, like to a charity of such. But, like, it's literally they just like, well, we spent a lot of it. We can't make a game now because we don't have enough money. I guess we're just going to keep the rest.
I mean, yeah.
These Kickstarters kind of, like, I guess, taught me the value of some of these games, because, like, I hear a lot of these Kickstarters, like, they say, hey, $3 million for this, and then you learn about... Yeah, that's just a small portion of the full budget of the game. It costs way more than that, and they have other investors in the back. And it's like, wow, video games are expensive.
Yeah, I mean, well, because like a lot of these games that start out with like, oh, we're gonna ask for $2,500, and it's like that's not how much a game makes. And so it's like either they're really hoping for the stretch goals to be able to afford what the game's actually supposed to be. Or it's a inexperienced person running a Kickstarter Let us know how things work.
Walt Disney Home Video presents Aladdin, the movie that became a sensation.
Are you kidding? It's the most popular movie of the year.
Is now something special on video. How about that? Disney's newest classic is fun for kids.
The best.
Fun for grown-ups.
It's outrageous.
Fun for the whole family. Big group hug.
He's so funny.
But hurry, it's only available for a limited time.
So I have to go and get it right now.
Out of here! Bring home Aladdin on video, the movie everyone loves.
It was great.
So, you want to get into the next question? Is that all?
Oh yeah, there's questions.
There were questions. We talked for another hour.
Adrian Africa, question. If you always had to give gifts for Christmas, and the only thing you can give are the corpses of any person, real or fictional, who would it be?
What a great question.
Can we do an extra question?
Damn.
Okay, let me think of what shriveling corpse I'll give to my brother. How about the dead carcass of Robin Williams? There.
No, too soon.
No, not too soon.
It was kind of.
Is that an appropriate amount of time? Like, I don't think it's too soon, but
when's the too soon limit?
Yeah.
I made a Robin Williams joke like a few seconds after he died, I think.
Oh.
This question just evokes so much.
I think something along the lines of, you can't be an Evangelion now, motherfucker.
That's not nice.
Fun fact, though, Robin Williams did try for the role of Gendo Ikari in the rebuild of Evangelion films, but he was turned down.
Wasn't he too expensive or something?
I've never read a reason on why he was turned down.
Oh.
I honestly can't think of anything.
But I can't imagine he was too expensive because he did the TV Aladdin movie, so he's willing to, if he loves.
Sure? Because
yeah, he did. No, he did the third one. He didn't do the second one, but he did the one.
Because I assume they just got the voice actor of Homer to impersonate him.
For the
no, actually, if you're talking about the kings, the knife, whatever, the King of Thieves, that's the one. They actually got the guy who did the Homer guy to do the whole film, recorded it, and then they were able to negotiate Robin Williams. So Robin Williams came in and redid all the lines.
Oh, thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
What a sweetie.
Hey, two guys got paid. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully they got paid. That's all that matters.
Yeah, because like Robin Williams' big thing about the Aladdin movies and why he stopped voicing Genie wasn't because of the pay. Well, it was partially due to they paid him too little, but he agreed to get paid less as long as they didn't use Genie as the main marketing ploy. And like legally, Disney was not allowed to have Genie more than 25% of the poster. And then if you look at all the posters, he's like 90%.
I see. Well, I guess we have this other question to end off on. Rafael Mendoza. Question, Pan, do you remember a video game reviewer named George Wood that did those gaming in the Clinton years videos? Remember him?
Yeah. What about him?
I don't know. Yeah, what about him?
Wow, this was a shitty question. All right.
Wow, what a counter question.
Podcast.
Wow.
Yeah,
hey, do you remember this guy? Yeah, I do. He sucked. What about him?
I guess this is the end of the podcast. Who are you people?
I'm JRadGex.
I'm
fucking just breaking the silence. I am JRadGex. I make game reviews. I do a podcast, and I do art on Tumblr, and I also am working on animations, if that wasn't obvious.
Yeah, links to that below.
I'm Stev. I also work on animations.
His are in a much higher scheme than mine, though.
It's arguable.
I'm Nolan. All my animations are fetish art.
It is true. He's been sending me a lot of them.
You don't gotta tell me, dude. He sends them to me, too.
I never know how to react to some of them.
And the next video is going to be top 5 Christmas specials. So goodbye, every pony.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm done. I quit.
Play
it's
us
over.
out, Emily.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need, and I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I don't need to hang my stocking there upon the fireplace. Santa Claus won't make me happy happy with a toy on Christmas Day. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you.